Cossack 1. Alright, so Cossack 1, right out of this, right on the left side, right at the start of the stage, I mean, there's an E-tank you can get. It's only 2 slides, so you barely lose time picking it, so if you really need an E-tank, which you probably want anyway if you're a new runner, I highly recommend picking up this one. It's like one of the easiest to pick, and the only ones you have anyway, so do it. It's easy. Alright, then this room. You have these slinkies. These slinkies are 6 hit each, and yeah, they really hit like tanks. Like, look at this. It's only gonna take like 5 hits to kill me. Like, you really wanna avoid any sort of contact damage with these, because that's gonna hurt you pretty bad over the course of the stage. So, don't do that. And here's how you avoid that. First of all, you wanna have a charge to skip this guy. You can jump over this guy, and then as you like slide off that ledge down there, you release the charge so it hits the other slinky here. Because you could technically jump over this one, but it's pretty difficult without taking damage. So that's why we want to like actually kill this one. And there's also another one, not this one, but this one. We also want to kill this one for pretty much the exact same reasons. Like, dodging him is kind of hard, and it's just gonna be better to kill him. So here's how you do that. So first of all, you kind of charge on this, jump over this guy, release. Then it's gonna be 3 shots, and you prepare another charge, and you release about here, and you can kill him right there. And then you prepare another charge to grab this ladder like this, because as we will see very soon, you need a charge in this room. All right, so that's like the basic strat that you want to do. So I can redo it again. You can also charge immediately right here. It doesn't really matter where you start your charge. I just like to do it as I'm jumping over that guy, so it's avoiding me. I just don't like doing movement while charging, so I prefer myself to just like do these slides very quickly and then like get the charge off that guy, because it's better for me. But if you just do it here, it's not gonna really change anything. Just like that. Well, I messed up one of the shots, but you get the plan. Like, it's really not that bad. You can optimize this a little bit. There's like a few things you can do. I'm not gonna show all of this because it's really silly. There's like a really silly strat where you can like get a lot of shots off the second slinky instead of jumping over it. It barely saves any time, and I don't know how to do it very well, so we're gonna skip over that strat. But you can do some optimization. You saw me sliding on these small ledges. If you really want to be crazy on your optimizations, you can do these. They save a bit of frames, but it's really not necessary, especially if you're a beginner. Oops, I don't know why I released there. There's one slide you can do that is not that difficult if you know how the movement game works. It's this one right there. It saves a bit of time. And then the next thing that can save you time is to kill the slinkies to get the 3 shots in one jump. Just like this. That way you would save like extra frames, and overall if you do everything properly, you'd save over a second, roughly. So if I do a room safe, it would be something like this. So that's like safe-ish. That's still pretty fast, honestly. And a fast room will be like something like this, where you slide it everywhere. Well, I messed up. See, that's even sometimes I do mess up. Let's do that again. Slide here. Kill this guy in one hit. And then you just grab the ladder and there you go. Yeah, I saved about like 45 frames. It's really not that big of a deal if you do it the safe way. I just wanted to show that maybe if you see top runners doing that, it doesn't really matter if you don't have a fast match for that room. Like it barely loses any time. Okay, so here's this room. Very important with this room, as I said earlier, is to have a charge going in the room. Because you want to bait the top enemy to go left, and you kind of want to kill this guy without any trouble, like the middle one. So here's how you do it. So it doesn't really matter what's your movement here, because as I said, you kind of want to like, you're gonna have to wait regardless, but jump out of the ladder just as a reflex. It's saving frames technically. So you kill this guy, and you don't want to slide immediately, because as you see, if I do it, this guy is in the way, and it sucks. You don't want that. So that's why you're gonna walk a little bit, just like this, and you're gonna wait that the guy opens and kill it after. That's how it works. It's a very easy room if you know what you're doing. It's a pretty terrible room if you're like going too bad, because you can get hit a lot, especially if you don't have a charge. And there you go. That's how you do it. You just want to make some very quick pauses. The timing to when you want to release is kind of hard to tell. He's gonna always like stop in the same spot. You saw like where I paused. It's always that spot. So you can try to like optimize this to the point where you barely pause or whatever. Like you just like right there. So it's like less sliding distance. I went too fast here. But yeah, honestly, it's just like frames. It doesn't really matter. So yeah, do that, and it's gonna be completely alright. Alright, so here's the checkpoint room. So at this point, you have the checkpoint. Congratulations, it's only 2 rooms, but yep. This room is pretty notorious to be scary for a lot of runners, even like established runners. Because if you remember Dust, you have these enemies again coming off the floor, and it's a lot more annoying this time. You can still use Bright. However, I will not recommend it for several reasons. First, because you need to be pretty optimal on your shots. You need to do bullet slides, and you need to be able to... Like, you're gonna lose time because you're gonna have to wait for the bright stopper to stop at the end. And that kind of sucks. So these guys take 3 shots if you do it. So here you can wait. Something you can do is you could just take damage, I guess, and then switch to balloon, and I don't know, like you can't improvise there. But as I said, it's like I would not recommend this. I feel like Buster is just better because it kind of helps you getting used to doing these those nice double slides and getting good jump heights, I would say, over time. You're not gonna get this immediately, but there's ways to do that still safe with Buster. So people tend to do a charge. I don't see the point of doing it because I feel like it just creates lag for no reason. You have like a bunch of time to get through this guy, and like it's not a problem. Here I'm being dumb here, but it's like you can just like do something like this, and like I still pass. I mean, you don't want to do this, but like I still pass even by doing some shenanigans. So here you don't want to slide off like this because, like, unlike what you would do with Bright, because you won't be able to catch the ledge. You need to jump on every ledges. So you jump here, and you A plus B out of most of the ledges because you need to disable these guys. I kind of jump early here, but you get the point. It's gonna be A plus B all around. Except this last guy. This last guy you can actually despawn it. You just do that and boom, he's gone. And then at this point you switch to balloons and you do that. Let's do that again from the start. So, fire this guy, you jump, A plus B, plus B, A plus B, and then you do a turn back to despawn that guy, and you switch to balloon, and you're dead. You can also be even safer technically, because I did like a full jump on this one, but you can do something like this if you desire. That's also a thing that works. Ooh, I'm very far off the ledge. I actually messed up the despawn. If you mess it up, you need to do a back deboost like this. Like you jump off the balloon and you're gonna very quickly turn left to reach this ladder. That's only if you mess up though. So if you want to be a bit more optimal, you can try to do 2 slides off that ledge. So that's the thing that's possible. Instead of like kind of like blocking a little bit. Like this. And then you can do full jumps instead of like landing here and do that. You can do full jumps. It's a bit more risky because if your movement is a little whack, you may die. Well, that was just me fooling around here, but yeah, like you kind of need some pretty nice and comfy big jumps to make it in one go. That's like a little bit faster. Oops, wrong menu. And then you can grab the ladder. You can technically use Rush Jet here, but as you will see if I do it, like I got an 18 with Rush Jet. Without Rush, I mean with just Buster. If you use Rush Jet, it's really slow. Like you're gonna lose a lot of time, and it's not like Mega Man 3-2 where like you can control Rush very well. But yeah, you saw I lost like 5 seconds, and you lose even more time than that. Like it's, and if you need to use Rush Jet later on, so it's honestly not a very good thing to use it here. If you really want it, you can, but I highly not recommend to use it. So let's do that room again. So if you want to be optimal, you just stay with Buster. You saw me waiting for that guy. I actually haven't explained that, but these guys, you need to A plus B, but you need to wait that they're in the way. So you want to like delay it. Like, don't be too afraid of like sliding off that ledge and like stopping here, because the snow will catch you. Like you won't like run to your death immediately unless you really push it too much. Like yeah, I didn't slide, but like you will get, if you stop pressing right and repress it, like you will get caught by the snow. Like see, it's like you don't have to be scared. Like as soon as you land, you just stop holding right, and you will get caught by the snow as you have to reaccelerate. Spawn, and then you can grab the ladder. You can actually add a small slide here to grab this ladder. One thing to note about the ladder is they tend to drop your inputs a little bit. So you need to do a very quick slide if you don't want to like get your input eaten by the ladder. Okay. So at this point, if you haven't switched to balloons for whatever reason, it's the spot to do it. Very quick 2 balloons in this room, and you're out, no problems. So obviously you can optimize. It's gonna be the same here. Like you just do 2 balloons and grab a ladder, no big deal. The way you can optimize this is by doing some slidings and faster placements. Oh, I haven't saved it. Well, let's do that room again, I guess. But yeah, the only way you can optimize this after that is by just placing the balloon in specific positions to be able to slide longer. Because like there's not really much that happened in these 2 rooms, right? So it's like 217. You can place that balloon somewhat high in a way where you can actually get a max slide on that ledge. Well, I'm messing up right now, but you can do this. There you go. See the full slide I got here? That's what you can do to do this from fast. And then the problem is like it sets you up for like this very hard balloon placement. So yeah. So if you want to go fast, you can just do this. That also works, but I get at the same time. I mean, just slide on that thing. It's what I meant. But the optimal way is just to do the full slide and do that. That's the fastest way to clear this room. And in this room, you cannot really quite do it. The balloon's gonna be slightly too low. So here, the only way you can go faster is by double sliding on both the balloon and this ledge here. So let's do that again. So, oops. Well, I don't know how I made that, but it worked. So yeah, just slide here, and then you grab the ladder. But honestly, you can just do this or this. It's honestly, it's just whatever. Like really, what matters is this room. This room is pretty notorious to be a scare for a lot of runners for very good reason, because it's pretty annoying. So like the babyest balloon strat you can do in this room is like placing 3 balloons as you climb the ladder. If you've played Mega Man 2 and Wily 1, this is almost exactly the same thing. Like place a balloon here, place a balloon like that, a very small A plus B, and then you wait. And you grab the ladder like this. That's like the safest way to clear this room with balloons. I'm gonna do it again. So you wanna be around here in the ladder. Also, don't mash because this will happen. You wanna just like place it one like this. You can walk on it. Like you don't even have to jump. You can just like all diagonal and it's gonna be fine. Like no problem. You don't wanna jump too high, otherwise you might grab this ladder, which is a problem. You don't want to do that. So that's why you want to just do this. A plus B, and then you just wait that the trap opens, and then you can go. That's like the easiest thing ever. Especially if you're low health, like that's like the strat to do. Obviously you can optimize this a little bit. There's a lot. I'm not gonna cover everything that's possible in this room. There's a lot you can do. I'm gonna show you what I know myself. And what I like to do. So there's a way where you can place the balloon like this, and then you can just take a D-boost and go like this. Like you cannot get through the trap. You just avoid the waiting essentially. You can also do something where you place 2 balloons, take a D-boost off that. And that also kind of works when you do it properly, which I'm not right now. Oh, I'm messing this up. But you can do something like this. It's pretty jank. The way I do it personally in runs, I place a balloon like this, take D-boost, so I'm falling back on this one, and then I very quickly place 2 extra balloons. So I do this, and I just slide on this spike. The problem with this strategy is you take 2 D-boost, so if you took damage prior in the stage, that is a problem. This is why most people just default to like taking a D-boost off this one only. Oh, my D-pad helped. Ah, my D-pad helped. I need to jump. Okay, my D-pad helped. I'll give you the diagonal issues. Well, I took damage twice because I was really slow, but if you jump like this, you're gonna be fine. Just like this. But honestly, if you're a beginner, just do this. It's really no big deal. It's not a problem. There we go. I'm gonna show the way I do it again, like this. 2D boost. And slide. Also worth noting, don't be scared of sliding on top. You won't die ever. Like, I know a lot of people thinks you can die by getting crushed on the ceiling in this spot, but that's actually wrong. The reason why is because you don't have enough space to do so. You need at least 2 blocks of solid ground to die, so 1 will never kill you at all. So, just something to know. Yeah, there's more strats I could show. Honestly, it's up to you to kind of like this room is pretty fun to mess around with, like, ways to do. You can also obviously really use Rush Jet here. It's really slow though. You have to menu back then to rain, because yeah, it's really bad. Don't use Rush Jet here. Just find the way that you like. That's also a way. There's like so many different ways to do this room. But the most method people use is to play a balloon like this and do something like this. Like, I don't like this method personally, that's why I always do the double D-boost. Because it's really comfy and you really don't really have to think about it. But the only downside of it, as I said, is the health. So it's up to you, whatever strat you want to use. I showed a bunch, so pick whatever. Alright, so let me just save tape. The menu, you want to do it right as you climb the ladder, so it doesn't interrupt any movement. Just like this. It doesn't really matter, but it's just like convenience. Not to like... You can buffer the input as you exit the menu, so you're basically not losing any movement time. There's gonna be this jump big in the way, so if you're really low health, you can gamble like this, that he jumps high. I somehow made it under him, but worst case scenario, you actually don't switch and use a balloon like this. You can jump over it. You can use 2 and... yeah. That's really in case you're like low health and you absolutely cannot take damage of this. You can kill him with ring, but that's kinda slow and pretty bad because you lose ammo, and it can take quite a bit of ring to kill, so if possible avoid doing that. But if you really have no choice, that's the way to go. But other ways, you just deboost through him, no issues. You just like do that and whatever. Doesn't matter. There's ways to even optimize this room a little bit by taking a back deboost as you're about to take damage. Something like this. This guy has 2 patterns, so you have to sort of react to what he does. But it really doesn't matter. Like, you're not gonna lose a run because you messed up the back deboost. This is fine. Alright, so I'm not gonna go into too much detail about Mob Freya. Chelny already has a pretty good tutorial on this. I'm just gonna show the way I do it personally, and feel free to pick up on it. I'm still gonna explain a few things or two though. Alright, let's go. So, there's not a lot of cues that can help you. I personally always do like a buffer jump to get the first shot in. I'm gonna make a better save tape. Like this. You can't like walk all the way to here. Like, you see like those little like lines there and the ledge here? That's kind of like where you want to like start jumping to get the first shot. So the way I do it, I buffer first jump and then I do this. It doesn't really... The jump is not really useful, it's just to get a rhythm for myself. So you can do that, that works too. Like, it's not a big issue. You can even do it earlier, but I don't like it because it's more precise. So like, you can do it a little later and makes it a bit more comfy. At least for me it does. And then it's like, you don't want to go too fast. You gotta follow the rhythm. It's very important. Like, if you miss a shot, make it as if you got the shot anyway, right? Because if you, let's say you missed a shot, I'm gonna just show some examples. Like, if you, like, you're gonna miss a lot. If you try to do this, like, oh, I messed up a shot, you're gonna miss every time. It's so bad. Don't do that. You really want to make sure it's as if you got the shot. It's like, you kind of want to wait that Mob Freya goes back down to get the hit. So if you get off rhythm, either by getting hit or by shooting too fast, you're gonna miss every single shot. Because as a reminder, this ring hitbox is 1 pixel. And this hitbox is also 1 pixel. So you have to align both a 1 pixel hitbox weapon and a 1 pixel hitbox on the boss. So this is why keeping up the rhythm is very important on that. So if you look at the way I do it, I always shoot when he's on the way down. So he can also dive sometimes. It's RNG, so he calls the RNG every 2 seconds. So that means he's quite predictable on that. He can, if you count the shots, he always dives on odd numbers. It's always gonna be on the 3rd or the 5th. Sometimes he can actually do it on both. He can dive on the 3rd and on the 5th. He can also throw his little, like I don't know how it's called, like the spiky weapon or whatever. But yeah, you kind of like want to keep the rhythm like this. It's really hard to explain, but like a lot of the failures that come with this boss is because you're off rhythm, or you go too fast, or you got hit or something. If you get hit, just wait a bit, like, and try to get a cycle again. Got kind of screwed by the luck here, but you get the point. Like, it's like you wanna like kinda try to not get off rhythm, because then it's just a disaster. Maybe Chelny has like other method for this fight. That's how I personally do it. So there's no like easy method for this fight. It's just try to not go too fast and keep a rhythm. It takes practice. And it can be pretty annoying. You probably won't die to this fight if you have enough health, but it can be quite annoying because it's really easy to get hit. This is kind of why we do these shots, by the way. Like here I was too fast, for example. But you see, I'm not going fast. I'm really trying to like pause a little bit as I'm falling down. Kind of as if the ring goes back to me first, then I jump. But yeah. That's about it for Cossack 1. That took like almost half an hour. Alright, so here's Cossack 2. Cossack 2. Alright, so Cossack 2 right off the start, you have like a bazillion amount of strats you can do. We're gonna start with like the easy ones. So we're gonna start with the Buster routes, the Buster only routes, because that's pretty much what you will do when you first start. Or like most people do, at least. You go right. So you're gonna have a ladder to climb, and then you're gonna have this guy in the way. So a lot of people just like kind of wait or do weird things like this. You don't have to do this. You can just do a bullet slide into a shot, like this. Like no problem. You don't have to like kind of wait that he opens or whatever. Like you don't have to do this. You can just like very cleanly bullet slide and you can just grab the ladder, no problem. You can try to make the jump there, but it's kind of tight. I'm actually not getting it at all, but yeah, you get the point. You can grab the ladder like this, but you can also just slide, and it doesn't matter really. If you have Buster, you actually want to keep it all the way until this point. And then you want to probably switch to Rush Jet. There's a few things that Rush Jet can do in this room that is pretty funny. So you can take damage and get a boost if you are backwards. So if you're not backwards, it won't do anything. So that's why the moment you take the first damage, you actually don't move at all. You just keep taking boosts from Rush. So I'm just gonna back deboost up this one. I messed it up. Nice. Oh, I forgot to save it. It's really not that bad. You just need to... Rush will follow you. It's not a big deal. But... this one you want to kill though. You don't have time to get the deboost out of it. But there you go. Now you just take the deboost. And see, you get a little boost like this, and they're gonna be a one here. Ooh. And you can just grab the ladder. You don't even need to refill. Like, people would tend to refill. That's one thing about Rush Jet that's cool, is if you use it here, and only here, you won't need any refill at all. And then you will have extra balloons for later too, so that can be useful, if you want to be safe. I hope I'm not dropping any frames. No, that's okay. I'm seeing buffers, but that's fine. Okay, so that's like the easiest route you can have. Like, it's just almost not too much damage, but still like a little fast. Like you're losing maybe like 5 seconds, which is not that bad considering how dumb runs can go in this stage. Like it can go south fairly quickly. So we're gonna try to go a little bit faster now. I'm gonna have to change, go back to the start. So now we're gonna go left. So you can do the same thing here. You can kill this guy and go to the right. And technically that's like a little bit faster. But killing this guy is a little annoying sometimes. But it's a bit faster, like half a second-ish faster. And then you can proceed to do the exact same thing we do. Or you can use balloons. And that's what we're gonna have for quite a bit in this stage, because that's pretty much what you want to use for the most part. So the first thing, I'm just gonna have the correct ammo, because on this practice run you have, every time you have like all of your ammo refill, but in the real situation you don't have that many balloons, so I'm gonna have to clear some of them. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I believe. Should be correct. If anything, I think I have a save tape, but that's okay. I think I have a save tape for this, actually. Let me check. I do. Okay. So this room. Alright, this is... Honestly, if you cannot do this, this is completely fine. You may just, like, do Buster then balloons instead. Instead of using Rush Jet, you just use balloons. That works. But if you can do this, that's gonna save you a bit of time, about 3 seconds. So yeah. So first, you see these enemies are gonna fall into you if you stay too long. This is why you wanna be very quickly place 2 balloons like this. The way it works is actually really hard to explain, because it really depends on how you understand how balloon works. Because like you cannot go diagonally like this, because otherwise this will happen. So you need to do some kind of like weird L's movement, like up then right, and then it's the reverse movement, up then left. You don't want to do any diagonals in this room. That's like the worst thing you can have to do. So one thing you can do to practice this, if you don't know how to do double balloons, you can just have a save state here, remove all the enemies. I mean, they're gonna fall off anyway, so it's not an issue. And just do that over and over, and until it clicks. My main recommendation is to avoid any diagonals. Like, a lot of errors can happen. Like, you can do something like this. If that happens, that means you just grab the diagonal. You don't want to grab this ladder. That is bad. You're gonna get hit. You don't want to stay too much to the right side, otherwise you will get hit. If you're too slow, you actually will get hit. This is why it's important to jump out of this ladder too, if you do that strat. It looks complicated, but after a while, it's like a thing that's like completely muscle memory, and you don't even think about it. Like, it's it takes time, and honestly, as I said, don't feel bad about this. You can just do the Buster strat if you struggle with this, and that's gonna save you a lot of trouble. Or even if you can do balloons but you cannot do it because of the enemies, you can just do this and take damage. It's okay. You just wait, take damage, and you just go. Whatever. But doing this is essentially, I don't want to say useless, but kinda. Like, you probably better just saving a balloon and use Buster, but you can still do 2 balloons though. Like, you can just take damage and do 2 balloons. That will be faster in that case, but honestly, if you already know how to do 2 balloons, it's likely, it might be worth to try learn how to do these. So another advice I'm gonna give you is the jump height, because balloons cannot have like a huge hitbox. Like, they kind of like zips you up, sort of. Like, even if I'm placing it bad, see, I'm still getting like Well, that was very, very bad there, but like you're still gonna get grabbed by the balloon. And that's what matters. You wanna avoid doing that. And this is why it's important to place the balloon somewhat late. But what's very important is to do full jumps. Because if you do little jumps, you're not gonna have like enough time to... It's actually hard to mimic. But like... That's actually really hard to mimic, dang. It's usually on the second balloon that this will happen, but... Like, I'm trying to do the mistake, but I can't. But like, you will have that a lot. It's like if you're too slow or like having bad height, this will happen. You won't have like you're gonna like, struggle a lot. That's why it's very important to give you the maximum amount of frames by like jumping high and be good. Like this. Like see how much times I have to, how much height I'm getting rather. That's what you wanna have. So, and you want to do that twice. So if you stay, even if you're like staying too long on the left side, if you're fast enough with your first jump, you should always avoid getting hit by this idiot there. If you do get hit, that means you were slow. Like this, that was really slow here. Same here. Also, as soon as you place that balloon, you can go to the right side. The left side rather. Just like this. Alright, so we'll call it done. There's a... Again, if you struggle with this, that's fine. But you really don't have to do this. It's not as big as a time save as it seems. Like, it's a time save. It's like 2 seconds. 2.5. Something like this. But honestly, you shouldn't be caring too much. Because it really doesn't matter at all. Okay. Alright, so this room with balloons now. So there's various ways you can do this. So you can just like take D-boost out of this, 2 slides, 1 balloon, you wait, D-boost, refill, wait, balloon, D-boost, 2 balloons, you take the refill, do not, maybe you don't want to slide. You can slide, that's not an issue, but you might lose the jump afterward if you're not too reactive to, or like not too familiar with the game's physics. So if you don't feel comfortable, just walk, that's okay. And then you D-boost that guy and 2 balloons. You slide on the spikes and 2 balloons. Let's do that again, but without interruption that time, so. You slide there, jump over that guy, D-boost this thing, 2 slides, place a balloon, D-boost, 2 slide, take the refill, walk, balloon, 1 slide, 2 balloons, walk towards the drop, D-boost, slide, 2 balloons, and there you go. That's one way to do it. Again, you can use more balloon if you want, especially if you didn't use some later. Oh, that was weird. Let me do that again. I wanted to place 2. But yeah, you can just like place 2 if you need. But you might have some balloon issues later if you do this though. You don't have a lot of balloons. You have a bit, but yeah, if you need, you can place extra balloons. A way to optimize this is by taking some back D-boosts. So you don't want to... That one is like the hardest one because it's really easy to die, but the other ones are easier. So like this one is pretty dumb to do. I don't recommend it, but this one's not that hard. Like this one. And you can slide here and do the same on that guy. And it speeds up the room quite significantly because like instead of getting pushed backwards, you get pushed forward. So it's quite the boost. It's definitely quite the boost. So yeah. I'm gonna do it again. So again, you don't have to do this one, back the boost. And also you can slide on the balloons like this. Like you don't have to do it, obviously, I did it on that run earlier, but yeah, like if I don't do these, if I just do that, oh, I did the balloon slide again. I'm so used to do that. But yeah, you don't have to do this. But yeah, that back deboost is really not hard to get. That one too. And yeah, you save like about a second doing it. And if you really want to go ham, you just slide on balloons too. That's like the fastest way to clear the room. Even that section, there's like multiple ways to do it. You can also despawn the balloon and do other shenanigans. That's like roughly the same time. Yeah, I'm gonna do a safe tape. We're gonna do it one more time. Alright, so this room is also pretty notorious to be scary for some people, which is understandable. So obviously the easiest way to clear this room is just to climb the ladder, wait that this one opens. It's pretty safe. It looks hard, but if you just hug that wall, it's like the jump is fairly free. So I don't know if I don't think, no, you kind of just jump, and then you just place one balloon, and you just go. That's like the easiest, safest way to clear this room, but also the slowest. I don't know if it's, I mean, you can also deboost as well, doing something like this, which will be a bit faster, but if you're already doing this, that means you're probably scared of your health, or just this room in general, so it's probably something you don't want to do. I'm gonna show you a way to do it with 2 balloons that's like relatively safe, but you need to understand kind of how balloon works. So like, you need to let go of this ladder and avoid that idiot, that like saw, whatever that is. Hedgehog, I like to call it. So yeah, and then you place the balloon like this immediately. It doesn't really matter the height, the higher the better, but as I said, you can place it kind of weirdly, even too high, and you're still gonna like, there's no way to place that balloon too high, like you're still gonna like grab it. There's no way you're gonna place it too high, so don't even be scared of that. It's not gonna be an issue. The issue is gonna be here though. You don't want to be too far left, because otherwise you will get hit. So you need to like kind of like do something like this, and then you want to place another balloon and land on this block. That's the point. So the fact I'm not sliding on it makes it slow. That's why you can place it higher to then land on the block by sliding on the balloon. So you place this one pretty high, and then place this one sort of high, but not too high. Like this. And then you can just very quickly go up without taking damage. Let me do that fast. There you go. Something like this. You don't even have to slide technically. It's just it makes it faster, but you can do something like this, and it would still work. It's very laggy, but at least it's very safe, and it's significantly faster than just waiting, like over a second. So that's one way to do it. There's also a way to do it fast with only one balloon and deboost. So you can do this, back deboost, and very quickly climb the ladder. And it only uses one balloon. That's a way to do it. There's a damageless way to do this room. That's the way I personally do it in runs. I believe that strat comes from Fatso. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure that's from Fatso. So you want to be up to this point around here between these the second and third block. Visual cue, you probably want to use this purple thing on the ledge to help yourself. You also have the dots kind of to help you. You want to be around here. That like the balloon needs to be in between like here. And then you want to like get over that gap. That's the point of damageless. So you want to do a straight jump all the way, and like you don't want to move left all the way until you pass the block. You only press left as soon as you pass the block, and then you just go. Just like this. And see, that's damageless, only one balloon used, so you saved an extra balloon. So that's pretty neat. And then the fastest way to do this room is pretty dumb. I will not recommend it unless you want to go for a fast time. Is to deboost this, and it's like basically a mix of buff method, but you go ham with thanks to deboost. So you slide this, and then you just like brush this block and get the smallest jump possible, and then you go grab the ladder. It's gonna be hard to do with my D-pad because my D-pad is kind of dead right now, so I apologize if I'm struggling. But thinking out that hard is just like pretty risky. There you go. But yeah, it's just kind of dumb. It's not even that much faster, but if you can't do it, it's pretty swaggy. So yeah, up to you. You have like a bunch of ways to do this room, so feel free to take whatever you feel comfortable with. I would just avoid any sort of rush jet. Rush jet shouldn't be used after that point. So if you use the rush jet strat, switch to balloon in this room. It's just gonna be better. Alright, so this room, pretty familiar, right? It's basically the same thing as room 2, except that this time there's no enemies. So let me go again through that room. Alright, so the easy way to clear this room is just to place a balloon to the right side, wait, and climb the ladder. That's like the easiest way, safe, comfy, whatever. It's the easiest way. If you want to go faster, you can place a second balloon by doing that. That also works. And if you want to be very fast, you can just like do the exact same strat as the room 2 strat, which is to do double balloons. This is actually a good room to practice it because you have a lot of space around your surroundings. Like you don't have any enemies, any walls. There's nothing that's gonna bother you to place the balloons. So if you want to practice double balloons, that's maybe a good room to practice it. And here's how you do it. It's the same thing. It's exact same thing as room 2. That's the same. So again, feel free to pick whatever you want. I would say this is one of this room where you probably can easily do 2 balloons because this time you can do diagonals. You can kind of do whatever you want. There's no obstacles, so it's gonna be up to you to choose whatever you want to pick up. So yeah. And here's checkpoint room. All right. So first of all, this bat sucks. This bat has 2 RNG. Either it's like a fast opening or a slow opening, and it's 1 or 3 seconds essentially. But the easiest way to clear this room is to place like a balloon around this spot. Maybe not that. Like around here. I would not recommend to do the wall jump balloon because if you get hit by the bat, at least you fall back on the balloon. But yeah, ideally you want to do this and try to reach the ledge before getting hit. That's why I kind of do a slide every time I'm doing this strat. It's pretty comfy. If you place it close enough but not quite, you should be still standing on it without falling even if you slide on it. Just like this. So that's one good thing about this strat. It's really comfy and you can use it safe as long as the placement's correct. And again, you can place it really dumbly high because like the game is gonna snap you onto the balloon anyway. Like, doesn't really matter. Like, see, like it's just kind of dumb. So you can use that to your advantage as well. So I'd recommend doing the slide like this. Like that's the not the fastest way, but like the comfiest way. And obviously the fastest way, you do the wall jump balloon, and yeah, that's how you clear that spot. So yeah. Then you're gonna have this guy, you wanna jump over it. Same for this gap here. You can actually do a small slide here. It's pretty dumb, but if you feel fancy, you can actually do it. It's pretty dumb. It's like a block slide, essentially. Saves like a couple of frames. Then you're gonna have another enemy in your way. This time you wanna balloon over it, because waiting for it is a little slow. You wanna do this. You wanna like place your balloon above it and slide on the balloon on top. That's the plan. And then you wanna just balloon. Here it's actually pretty important. You wanna be somewhat close to the edge, but not quite to the edge. You can make that jump if you wait, but that's slow. You don't want to do that. Oops. Trying to do various strats so you can have an idea of what you want to do, but here you just A plus B. As soon as you reach this, as I said, this bat's kind of random, so sometimes you might get hit if you're not fast enough, though. Like here I got good RNG, didn't open, but like you get the idea. Right? Because you cannot just like slide off this ledge and make it. You will die if you do just this. So that's why you place a balloon to kind of like extend the ledge, sort of, with an A plus B. So like how that works is like you A plus B, then repress A as you land. You keep holding diagonal essentially after you jumped. Like you kind of like jump, and then as you're about to land, you press diagonal and press A again. So it's like A plus B diagonal slide. Basically, that's how you do that strat. You don't even have to like jump after. You just like let yourself fall down, and it's gonna be fine. So let me do that again. So you jump, you place a balloon over that guy, slide, and you do that. For this balloon, by the way, don't do a wall jump balloon. Wall jump balloon in this spot is slow because you kind of like hug the wall more. So you want to get like this very clean diagonal towards the ladder. That's faster. That also avoids you less climb, essentially. If possible, try to place it that way. Faster. Just like that. Okay. So at this point, if you've done pretty much good or like close to perfect, you should be having extra balloons, but it's not a big deal if you don't have any. Actually, it's fine. Like, it doesn't matter. But if you have extra balloons, we can have some usage later. That's not a problem. But usually, if you're optimal, you have either 0 or 1 balloon left at this point. If you have more, it's fine. It doesn't matter. But just so you know, it's okay if you have like almost no balloons at this point. So we're switching to dust on this ladder because we're going to kill this guy right here with it, and then we can go. There's obviously optimal ways to kill this guy. You can fire a dust like around here as you move towards the enemy, like this. Well, not exactly like this. That was actually way too high. But yeah, you can damage him that way. If you have the right timing, you can actually get a double hit with it, just like this. It's creating a bit of lag, so it's up to you, whatever you want to use this. I'm struggling. There you go. But you can also do this too. Walk, and then as soon as he dies, you slide and jump. The only downside with this strat is if you get a drop, you probably will miss the jump on the ladder, but honestly, even if you do this, this is the same problem, so honestly, it doesn't really matter. Just do that, or that. And if you mess it up, you need to react in time and fire another. That's why I'd rather do this, so I'm sure to not miss a hit, because your dust ammo is very important on that matter. Okay. Well, this is just a ladder climb, so it doesn't matter, and then this is the boss. So Square Machine. Square Machine has a lot of things going on the RNG side. Well, a lot. Not really. It's just you can lose a lot of time essentially, and you will lose a lot of time on average because the RNG is pretty bad. It's 1.5% to get the best RNG, so it's not a lot. So essentially, you're gonna have multiple passes. Either 1, 2, or 3 before you can actually reach him. So that's a 3 pass. That's the fast pass. One thing about this fight is every sort of landing you do is causing lag. And some slides you will do will also cause lag, so it's best to avoid any sort of movement if possible. I'm gonna try to show you the best way to handle this fight without losing a lot of lag frames, because like just like jumping around in this fight is enough to cause you a bunch of extra lag frames. Like you don't want to do like, I'm having fun. Oh, yep, it's cool. I don't know how many times I landed, but every landing is 1 lag frame right here. So I probably lost like almost 15 frames for no reason. And it's just the first pass. It's getting worse after this. So yeah. So again, this is a 3 pass. The 3 pass, you can just jump like this, and Mega Man will kind of like zip around. You don't even have to move. You just jump, and that will eliminate most of the lag. You gotta do it again. So it's just you just time. You don't even have to time it, honestly. You just jump, full jump, and you're gonna be safe. Same here. The thing you want to avoid is like if you don't move, you will get hit. That's what you want to avoid. So you want to jump at the right time. So that's a 3. 3 is the slowest, and but it's one of the easiest. So the way I do it is I'm going towards the right side immediately. I didn't mean to slide. And then I fire a shot immediately. So the way the dust weapon works is it's hitting twice. And with the lag, it means that you can shoot a little earlier sometime than you think, because you're gonna get the hit from the second hit of dust, if that makes sense. Like it hits twice, but because of the iframe, it's not gonna hit once, obviously. But you get the idea. Like you can, like if you shoot twice fast, you will get 2 hits, like this. So as you fire the second shot on the 3, you want to turn back a little bit because it's gonna cause, I mean, you're gonna get hit auto-rise. So that's what I'm doing here. And I land on the thing though. I jump on this. As soon as I fire, I'm going away. And then I'm taking damage on the 4th hit. So I'm gonna do it again. So. Can I not do that? What is this mistake? That was a little too fast here. And then you have all the time to fire the 5th hit. So that hit is almost guaranteed to happen if you want to get a 5 hit. If you're in danger and you don't have any E-tanks for whatever reason, you can do something like this. That also works, but it's pretty tight, per se. Also, for whatever reason, if you could not jump and time slide, that's still better than getting hit. Just saying. You lose like 6 frames and move to 3. So, but yeah. Let's do it again. There you go, that's a 5. You can get 6, but we're not gonna talk about that. It's pretty dumb. And then you just have whatever side you want. And there you go, he's dead. So that was 3-3. I'm gonna show you what you want to do with 2, because that's different. 2 is, if you get it at first, in my opinion, I guess that depends for people. I really don't like starting with 2 because I feel like it's harder to get a 5 hit. And I don't think you can actually do a damageless with a 2. Let's try to get a 2 pass. The 1 is the same as 3, so it doesn't matter. But the 2 is different. That's a 2, perfect. So the 2, you want to be still going right, but you're going to see the timing is a bit different. So you take damage, dodge the hit, and then the 5th hit is really tight. That's the way I do it. You can do double damage if you have the health. Like this. That works. But as I said, you took 2 damage, so you might not have the health if you play optimally to do that. So the way I do it, I take damage off this one. I misjump. But I dodged the bullet on the 4th hit, essentially. Like, I make him shoot diagonally. It's like a timing thing. It's pretty hard to time properly, but... This is wrong. I'm doing that wrong. I really don't like that pattern, but... There it is. Alright, so that's the 2. There's other ways you can take damage too. You can like... do it like this, to be a little faster. There you go, that's also a way to do it. But yeah, you get the picture. Like, it's harder because you have less time to get the hits. Because you take damage in weirder ways. And then it's just the same ending. But yeah, that's why I said like the tank you get is probably like nice to use in this thing. If you have it. You most likely will use it in this stage for the most part, so... Okay. Well, Cossack 3. Cossack 3 is the auto-scroller stage. There's not a lot that goes on. Nothing here. There's gotta be a spark ball here. We can do some lag reduction by trying to kill the enemies as fast as possible. So as soon as you have this ledge popping, you wanna like start mashing towards the side of like here. Like you wanna start mashing the side of the screen to kind of kill this guy as soon as possible. Try to get a better save state. God dang it. Like as soon as you see the ledge, the cannon is on. You just like mash. Here you just want to mash, and at this point, as soon as you kill that enemy, if there's no drops, you just stop moving until the 2 sparks on the left despawn. That's a lag reduction strat. There you go. And you walk here, you want to use some mash a little bit, like small mash, just to kill that turret. Alright, and here is the route problems. Because here you can do a lot of things. So you have like a big ammo here. So I'm gonna go with my route because I believe all the other routes are not that interesting, not that worth, except the dust one. So essentially, at this point in time, if you have not a lot of dust, like you messed up Square Machine pretty bad, or like you lost a lot of dust ammo, instead of switching to ring in that case, switch to dust. And you refill dust. So you lose a menu, but because yeah, technically you want to use ring here. But if you need it, you can switch to dust and refill dust. And then you can refill ring later in refights. But we'll talk about that again later. So here again, my ammo is messed up because it's the practice ROM. I probably should have played on like a regular, ROM, but that's okay. Okay. So we switch to ring. We pick up ring. Alright, there you go. And then it's just the end of this. the room, not the stage, the room. You're gonna have to jump big here. So the way I do it is I'm placing myself about here on the very edge of the cloud. Like you see Mega Man's right foot here. That's where I'm stopping. And as soon, it's like a timing thing, right? As soon as this guy spawns, I wait a bit and I slide. But I feel like it's the good spot for me to be on, is to be on the edge here, like this. It's up to you to find the right visual cue to when you need to slide. I kind of do it on feeling, so I don't really have a visual cue. But shortly after that guy spawns, he's gonna jump, so it's like, I don't know the exact frames, but like, and if you get hit, it's like, well, whatever, just go. Doesn't really matter that much. It might matter for the next room because you might get some drops, and that's where issues might arise, but on that one specifically, like, if he jumps high, cool, you won't get hit, and if he jumps low, you might get hit. So, yeah. So this room, you want to kill these with ring. I highly not recommend sliding. So it's worth noting if you slide off there, you won't die. You simply just fall back down there. So it's not a big deal, but it still sucks. You want to avoid it. If there's no drops, you can probably safely slide and jump on that ledge, no problem. But yeah, if you have drops, even myself, I tend to not slide on the first one. But if you're fancy, you can actually slide on both, like this, and get a pretty good time. But yeah, you can just do this too. You don't even have to slide, and it's barely slower. And I lost like what, 17 frames. Not a big deal, honestly. So yeah, that room shouldn't be an issue, hopefully. So yeah. Next, auto scroller. Make sure to go pretty fast because as you can see, the auto scroller doesn't start immediately like the first. So when I kind of go fast towards the side of the other side of that room. Okay. Now you're gonna have these pesky platforms. These platforms, as soon as you land on them, you want to be committed. So you're not gonna be able to jump back. To stay on it. So the fast way, sort of, it's kinda, you kinda don't care too much, but there's gonna be some Saturns in the way. So there's one here, and then there's gonna have a drop here. So as soon as you pick up that drop, that's why it's very important to stay on ring on that. You switch to Pharaoh. And then you hold B. Like as you exit the menu, you hold B so you buffer a full charge. So then that allows you to like kill enemy on your way. So you can kill this, no problem. Jump over here. I'm doing some little jumps like this if you need to adjust. Here's gonna be an enemy, you just wait and kill him with the Pharaoh charge. There's gonna be another Saturn after this. So here the same, you just wait. Kill the one. And okay, here, very important. So you can do two things here. So normally, obviously, you don't pause, just to explain. So you can just like wait, but that's pretty slow. Not that much slower, right? But it's like it's slower. Or you can just like do two jumps like this, two full jumps. 1, 2. I would advise you to not do a full jump on the first, but only on the second. Like a mid-jump, full jump. That way the platform despawns, and then you can just like fall off and be right down there. It doesn't really save a lot of time, you might say, because like, oh yeah, it's an auto-scroller. It doesn't save time. The thing is, these platforms cause lag when they stay on screen. So if you can despawn them, it's still better. And that's about it. I'm not gonna show you like the crazy deboost struts that this room has, because honestly, it really isn't worth it unless you go for like top tier times. So really, just watch like Chelny or one of the top 5 runners probably, and you may see the strat. But yeah, otherwise it's kind of dumb. The only thing you need to remember is like these these platforms, the moment they are on the screen, they're causing a bit of lag. So if you can despawn them fast, the better. But honestly, there's not a lot that goes on in this stage besides the boss fight that we're gonna see right now. So again, you wanna charge before it happens. And here the goal is to try to get like what, 4 hits, I believe. So like the 5th hit kills the boss, the first phase of the boss, or is it the 4th hit? It's the 4th hit, right? Yeah, the 4th hit. You'll see. We wanna have like a diagonal shot, so it hits both the first phase and the second phase at the same time, and that allows to get a standard kill, which will save a bit of time, and also very precious. Precious Pharaoh ammo, because Pharaoh ammo is pretty mandatory for this run in the late game, and you only gonna have like one stage to refill it, which is the next stage. So here's the fight. So right away you're gonna jump and fire this, then immediately charge another. Wait that the charge is full, by the way, because otherwise you're not gonna have a lot of damage. So then you just fire. So then you just use the glitch Pharaoh shot that you fired, because it's only got hit by the top, so you didn't release it. Boom, boom, and then you charge. And then you use the glitched one to hit both. That's the first thing. So the positioning for that, you want to be like on the edge of this ledge, but not too far. If you're too far, that might be bad. So stay, just do like a straight jump and diagonal shot. That's how you will kill the first phase, no problem. So again, do that, boom, diagonal, wait, boom, boom. So it's really not that hard, except if you have issues holding inputs while moving, which may, like, you need to hold B while pressing A and doing full jumps. That could be an issue for some people, so and yeah, boom, there you go. So that's the first phase. So then immediately after that, you want to charge immediately after again. Do that again. So boom. Yeah, save tape. So as soon as it's fully charged, you release, charge again, boom. And at this point, you're gonna have 2 patterns. You're gonna have a big bullet or 4 bullets. The 4 bullet is the bad pattern because it's gonna create some lag and you're gonna need to take damage. So here we got the bad one. So let's see if I get it again. So you take damage like this. Well, I messed up with my pause, but you get the idea. You wanna like back deboost with a, like you just jump straight and do a tap to the right. That's what I usually do. Boom, boom, deboost, boom, and you fire last hit. Always fire with diagonal, cause it goes off screen faster. So, but don't go too fast, otherwise this might go into iframes. I'm gonna try to show you the full fights without any interruption. Again, for all the boss fights, you have a Chelney's tutorial with the bosses. I'm just doing a quick glance at some of the fights. I'm sorry if it's not very well explained, but this one doesn't really have a lot to it. It's just Cossack 3 basically. So again, 1, you wait here, boom, diagonal, wait, boom, diagonal shot, wait, charge, charging, charge, I got the bad pattern again, wait a little bit that the iframe goes off, and you fire the diagonal shot. Honestly, it's just gonna be memory for this fight. You're gonna see it, you're gonna mess up a couple of times, and at some point you will nail it. I kinda wanna try to get the good pattern. So, because you kinda do something a little bit different with the good pattern. Hopefully it's different. So the good pattern, there you go, you just deboost like this, and you should be landing on the ledge, and then you can almost immediately release the stored shot you have. You don't have to do this, by the way. You can just like hit him without the hit, but I just like to deboost it. It's just safer. I mean, not safer, it's just more consistent for me. So, but honestly, you can just jump mid-height, get the full charge into his face, and throw the charge shot as he's going to the center. It's worth noting that's one of the only boss fight that killing him slightly off center is faster by like a couple of frames. So, but yeah, that's just minor optimizations. And yeah, that's about it about Cossack 3. There's not a lot to talk about. As I said, the only really major difference will be what route you decide to take for the refills. Again, we're gonna talk about that later, because the only moment that it will matter will be with Wily 3, so... Alright, so let's go, Cossack 4. So, right at the start, if you need, and I will highly recommend it, to switch to Pharaoh and pick up some ammo down there. There's 2 big refills you can get. Some people tend to only get 1, you can get both if you feel scared. Note that you can make this jump, by the way. You can do that. It's a bit hard, but if you fell down, you can just use Rush Coil and go back up. But if you have extra, better if you have extra balloons that you haven't used at this point. This is maybe a good spot to use it. But so if you need Pharaoh, pick it up. If you don't, either switch to balloon or Rush Coil. We'll see why later. So there's not a lot that happens at the start. So for right now, I'm gonna switch to Rush Coil, just so I can explain the safer shred first. So not a lot's gonna happen here. We are gonna deboost. Like here, you don't want to slide off. You want to walk, full jump, or like mid-high jump, like this, and deboost off. I mean, back deboost off that cannon turret, whatever. And you should be able to slide down and go down without any issues, like this. That's what you want to do. If for whatever reason you mess up, you're like, oh, I fucked up, it's just like, whatever, you just go. There's a way you can kind of like corner this without getting hit, but it's kind of dumb. If you mess it up, you can do something like this, but ideally, that's what you want to do. Just do that and go down like this. No big deal. Alright, next room. Next room is pretty tricky. You have another jump big RNG that can be annoying. So with the good pattern, what you want to do is you want to take damage before you pass that line. Like you see that, like right there. Like you really don't want to like pass that line, but like in between the 2 ledges. You want to be before that. The ideal scenario is to take deboost in a way where a back deboost, sorry, in a way where like you Mega Man doesn't pass that line until you regain control. You'll see what I mean. So that's why I'm gonna jump a bit early, like this, and then I'm doing 2 slides, and that should make you across that without any issues. So that's with the good pattern, because you can basically despawn jump big like immediately. And that also kind of reduces lag a little bit, because you can do this, but it's really laggy, and honestly, if you're new to the game, you are not going to be able to do this. It's way too difficult on movement, so yeah, just do that. It's pretty easy to do as well, and just make sure, like, the only mistake that can happen is if you take damage way too late and this happens. That's like really bad. Or if you take damage way too early like this, and then yeah, this will happen. So make sure to be under it, like 2 slides, and just do this. Really not that hard. But if you take damage there, that's not a big deal either. Like, do that. Also, never do this unless you really need health, because that's causing so much lag to do this. Like this. Don't do that. Like, just go and take damage, whatever. Like, it's gonna be faster. Like, boom. On top, these spark balls really doesn't do any, like, barely any damage. So it's like, just take the damage if you have to. Like, it's, don't try to dodge it. It's not gonna do you any good. Okay. I'm gonna show you, if possible, the other pattern. Because there's, as I said, there's 2 patterns for that room. Because if you get the bad pattern, essentially you're just gonna, oh, I don't want to lose. Rush coil. But yeah, if I'm gonna just like save it right there so I can get different pattern. Also, yeah, there's an E-tank here if you need to, by the way. I would not recommend picking up this one. You'll see why in a second. So that's a good pattern again. That's a good pattern again. Okay. What? Hello? Come on, game. You can do this. What? I would dream to get that run. Alright, please give me a bad pattern. There you go. Okay. So with the small hop, you just slide into it, and then you have to slide pretty fast, because otherwise, if you're too slow, you will get hit. Like, even I'm trying to go slow, I'm still not getting hit. But like, if your slide chain is like, yeah, you will get hit. So be careful on that. But otherwise, it's the same. So just take damage here, slide here, jump here. And here you're gonna have the ladder of doom. This ladder is really well known to drop your input. Like, it's pretty bad. You'll see, if you run the game, you're gonna be like, I jumped here. That's the game dropping your input. These ladders are massive scams here, especially that one. But yeah, otherwise, not a big deal. You just like slide over here. You can do an extra slide, but your movement needs to be good for that slide to be worth it. So I would not recommend it until your movement is pretty optimal. A good thing to note is like when you're like here, always don't simply hold right as soon as you jump. Try to hold diagonal so you kind of get snapped by the ladder. God, drop input. Like that's too early. That's almost too early. You want to avoid bonking. That's good. But hey, holding diagonal kind of helps for that. If you just do this, it's like this, it's likely you will you might get hit. You might bonk and lose a bit of time. Not a big deal though. Okay, so this room has a lot of, I mean, there's only 2 variants, but there's a lot of ways to do the 2 variants. I'm gonna start with rush coil, obviously. That was a little bad there. Alright, whatever. Alright, so rush coil. The easiest way to use rush coil is to jump here and do that. Because when you brush this wall, you're guaranteed to get the correct positioning. So you're not gonna be scared of like, oh, I'm gonna mess it up. Impossible. Like, if you just hug that wall here, 0% chance you mess up. So as soon as you did that, it's a very quick menu to drill. So a very quick way to do it is to roll your thumb from left to down, like this. So you get a very quick menu. And if you jumped on rush coil, you can immediately destroy the wall and slide off. I didn't slide, but get the point. Like, not a big deal. Like, boom, menu to drill, boom, and you slide and you're gone. GG, you did it. You can play that a bit optimal by pressing rush sooner and jumping slightly lower. Not that it saves a lot of time. Another thing that will save time, however, is by waiting that rush, pushes you upward by itself. Like, if you don't have to jump to trigger it. Like, see? Like, I'm not doing anything, he's making me jump. So, one way to do that is by summoning him, and as soon as you see Rush pulling you upwards, you do like a left movement to bump the wall, like this. And that way you land lower on that floor. So then it's the same thing, then you can drill, and yeah, kind of stuff there. And time-wise, it's a bit faster, because you have less time in the air, so you can jump almost immediately. It saves like half a second. Yeah. That's Rush Coil. And now, if you're really fancy, I can show you how to do balloons. Balloons is not something I would recommend for like any new runners, but I just wanna show it. There's two ways you can do this. I will show you both ways. So first, let me go back down. It's worth noting that balloon strat here is like a 38, like a low 38, maybe 37 strats. There's like a lot of 37 runners that still doesn't do the strat, so you really don't have to do this. It's just for showcase that it's a strat that can be done in various ways. So, kind of like the previous levels, you need to like kind of like stop your movements. And you have to do, instead of like going diagonally towards something, you need to like jump then go up. Like something like this. But I'm messing this up right now. Like this. Like you gotta do like a small right release, a left release. You can jump also out of this ladder. That can also help setting this up, because then you have like a good rhythm. Like bam, bam, bam. Something like this. Something I like to do is to place it like below, like lower. People tend to place it like here. I place it below that, like here. And then I do a diagonal. I'm jumping out of this ladder, so then here, and like I do a small A plus B. More like a BA, an AB. So I'm like slightly higher, and I land on top of the balloon. If you do an A plus B, you're gonna be too low. But something like this, and it works like almost every time. And then it's the same thing, switch to drill, and you're gone. Okay, that's balloon. That's kind of dumb, I don't recommend it, I just wanted to show it. E-tank here if you need it. One thing to note about the E-tank, it scrolls the camera back to the center, so that might mess you up if you're not used to it, because if you notice, Mega Man starts by being far on the right side and the camera doesn't move, so like even at this point Mega Man is still kinda off standard. So, and then you're gonna have the sling keys again. So if you take it, the camera will kinda like snap Mega Man back to the standard-ish. So be aware of that. Okay, so these enemies here, easy way to take care of them, I mean the swing keys, is to do 2 jumps. Like one jump, and then the second to jump on the platform. Boom. Oh, I did jump. Nice jump. Boom, and boom. There you go. That's one way to do that room. If you want to be faster, you can do it in one jump like this, but you need to jump very, like on the very far left edge, otherwise you will get hit. Like, this will happen on the second one. The first one is pretty lenient, the second isn't. Like, see how far left I jumped? Because if you're too close, you will get hit before the explosion actually kills the slinky. Okay, that was too high. That's a mistake that can also happen. Okay. That's one way to do it. I don't think, like, there's one faster way that's like really dumb. You can store charges in this game. So like, let's go back to the very start of the stage so I can just show you that real quick. Essentially, at the very start of the stage, you can charge a hit then switch to any other weapons. Like I'm using dive here, I can do whatever. The moment I'm gonna switch back to Buster, I'm gonna get an instant charge shot, like this. See, I was not even holding anything, but yet I still got my charge, because for whatever reason, the charge still gets stored after if you didn't release it beforehand. So, in this room, that's something you can actually use to your benefit. Let's imagine I did it beforehand. So you menu like this, and then you can like use the charge, but it's pretty hard to time. It's like top tier stuff. That's why I still recommend to just do this or something, because it's like it's just much easier to me. But just be aware that it's something that you can use to your advantage to make it easier. Because like here's the thing with these guys, like if you shoot, you need to like. They get hit twice. They get hit by the bullet and the explosion afterward. And if you are too low on that placement, I'm an idiot. That was supposed to be a jump on the slide. Ow, too low. I did it again, but like if you shoot too low, like you will miss this guy. I keep getting it, but like I'm trying to do mistakes. I can't even do them. But trust me, like this guy, if you're too fast, if you still take damage besides like you hitting him right, that's because he didn't die in time. And that's where the Buster can be useful, because it's like 3 hits immediately and into his face. So, but yeah, if you didn't use Buster at that point, just like menu as you fell down and just go. Extra slides, jump over that, jump here, and you go down. That's easy. Faster way, you actually take deboost out of this and you go up here. The reason why it's faster is because you avoid bonking this thing. And to show you that it's faster, I'm gonna do this without it. Or about like a 620-ish. And if you take damage, yeah, 614. I saved like 10 frames for free. So you can even optimize this even further with back deboost, but can be a little tight. 606. So extra like 2 frames you can get. You can save a bit of time with the other method by sliding off this as well, but like, yeah, I mean, it's just ways to do this room if you want. Like, honestly, it doesn't really matter. It's just half a second-ish. Then it's basically slide, 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 or like the fastest way is slide, 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 jump. That's faster. Bullet slide, I mean, that one's bullet slide. That one is just like a jump slide. And then you just want to hold the charge going into the boss, like this. Very important. Let's do that again. Okay, so here, there's 2 things you need to know. First of all, depending on the version you use, you're gonna have a different fights at the start. Because the US version gets an easier fights, as catcher fight stays stunned more at the start. I don't know why, but that's not something we have in Japanese version. So that's one of the major difference the Japanese version has over the US is the very beginning of this fight, on top of like the cutscene at the end of the fight. So you can see you by yourself the difference on the US version. If you try to fight it, you'll see that at the very start of the fight, catcher kind of stays for quite a bit of time, and that should allow you to get 3 charges, I believe. So I don't have any ROMs, I don't think, so I can't test it myself anymore, but yeah, be aware that if you're struggling with this fight, you may want to do the US version besides using the Japanese. But it's not a big deal though, it shouldn't be. So we go into the fight. I'm actually gonna slide properly because it's kind of awkward. First of all, make sure to hold right all the way, because if you don't, you're gonna land slightly less right, so you need to hold right. And then you wanna like avoid sliding immediately, because if you do, he's gonna come immediately at you. So you wanna like delay by like one or two, like a couple of frames like this. You need to walk a little bit. So any slide you do is freezing his movement. See? Up, boop, no, no. No. See, I'm freezing his movement by sliding. So if you mess up the timing though, he will move again. So after a while, he's gonna like shoot, right? And if you're under him, obviously he's gonna grab you. He has like a very small percentage of like actually hitting you instead of grabbing. But yeah. So the point is to give 2 shots at the start. So you walk a bit, slide, boom, slide, boom. Then you go here, and then you just like slide 3 times. 1, 2, 3, charge. 1, 2, 3. I messed up a little bit. And if he's too far to you, you go back to left. I messed up. Slide, boom. You wait, then he comes on the left. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. Your slide needs to be 5. He's too far left. And as he's about to be at 2 HP, you make sure to go back to left if you haven't. So you trigger the cutscene path there. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. He's going back left. I didn't quite trigger the cutscene in the right place. You can do 2 slides, but it's a bit harder at the time. 2, 1, 2. Like, this fight kind of sucks. This is why, like, you need to kind of like manage to stun him by respecting his fight. You can't like you don't even have to, that's just a way to do it, but you don't even have to go to the left, I mean the right. You can just play around with him. Like, keep in mind that just every slide you do will freeze his movement when he starts doing one. So like if he starts moving, bam, you slide. And it's gonna freeze his movement, and then you can just like hit him. And when he starts moving again, bam, you slide. That's kind of what you want to do. There's no other explanations besides that. As I said, the optimal way is to try to finish the fight on the left side of the arena. This time. I'm about to die. Okay, I actually really messed up. This fight kind of sucks, but that's why I always do 2. 1 more there and then I stay to the right. That's usually what I do in runs. And you see, like, he just stays there. I think I messed up the shot there, but like, you get the point. Like, he's gonna just do a bit of different things sometimes. There's like a bit of RNG. Like, the best RNG is when he goes left, you slide, he doesn't move, he just moves up and down, and then the moment you want him to go right, he goes right, and that triggers the cutscenes faster. Again, you should probably watch Chalney's tutorial for this. He probably has a more in-depth explanation for this fight. I am not very good at this fight myself. Like, I guess you can tell, but it's the main mechanic of this fight is freezing his movement. So as long as you know how to do that, you should be able to get a decent fight. And then it's just mash, mash, mash. You mash A and B, blah 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 to skip the cutscene. And oh my god, is Dr. Wily, and we don't even see the cutscene because it's a practice room. Okay. So that was Cossack stages. We're gonna go to Wily 1 again. I mean again, just Wily 1. So here's the Mega Man 6 ladders again. They just drop your inputs. The first is easy, just like grab the ladder. This one is a bit more tough. You're gonna see why. Like if you try it yourself, you'll see that grabbing this ladder is you're gonna see this a lot. Like trust me, you're gonna see that a lot because it's really easy to drop your input here. Okay, oops. Not my menu here. I'm confused. Okay, so 2 jumps and then you jump on the ladder. This room is really easy. It's just essentially 2 A plus B's, like A plus B, A plus... This one is not really an A plus B, but like an AB. Like you just aim. These are one-shot mets. Like a really easy room. Like, bam, jump, like this, no problem. You slide on that one if you can. You don't even have to. You can just do that. I'm playing really poorly right now, but yeah, there you go, something like that. But ideally, you want to slide on that one. A plus B, slide from this guy, 2 jumps, and then grab the ladder, no problem. This one's a bit more tight. Okay, so first thing you want to watch is the second net, the one that is on the pipe on the right, like the gray pipe. The reason why is because depending on the pattern you have, you might have to do something different. If you mess it up, it doesn't really matter too much, but you can do 2 things. You can jump low or high. If he jumps low, that's good because you can kill him immediately. If he jumps high, you're gonna have to delay. So let's start with like the first 2 mets because that's like the easiest part of the, I guess. Well, it's not really the easiest part, but like it's the part that's like consistent at least. So A plus B, and then it's 3 shots to kill this guy. So there's various ways to get the 3 shots. So you can just walk to kill it. You can also deboost. That's the thing that works. So you can do something like this, and then you kill this man and go grab the ladder. It's the thing that works. You can do what I did, where I slide, then I kill this guy. Requires a bit of a mash, but it's not too bad of a mash, honestly. Like, you can do it. I believe in you. So, but if anything, you can just walk, and that makes this kill really trivial in my opinion. So, and then just kill this mat, slide to grab the ladder, no big deal. So yeah. And the reason why I was concerned is like when you are playing optimally this room, you may be too fast and you get a bad pattern. Also, if you get hit, you have to be careful. Like you need to shot this man almost immediately because he's gonna open very quickly as YouTube damage. So you lose. I mean, you lost some time on the timer. So yep. So if you get if the mat lands here, you wanna do like a walk and then big A plus B, essentially. I took damage. And if he spawns like here, it's like a very quick A plus B. Like a bam bam. And if it's the high pattern, I mean if he lands here, the mat I mean, you do like A plus B and you land there. But honestly, not a big deal. You can choose whatever strat you want. Just make sure to prevent this mat from shooting, essentially. But yeah, the way I do it like this. I slide if I can actually get it. Fast pattern, and there you go. That's how I do that room. But yeah, choose whatever strat you want, as long as you don't take a lot of damage, or if anything, try to not take any damage, and you're gonna be perfectly fine. Alright, here's probably, in my opinion, one of the hardest room in the game to... Like, you're not gonna die to this room, but you might lose a lot of time to this room. Let me explain you why. First, you need... The first part of it is pretty easy. It's just like, you jump up the ladder, 3 slides, and on the 4th slide, you do a bullet slide to kill that man. So that part is easy. So 1, 2... I mean, on the ladder. Let's imagine I'm jumping up the ladder. Right? Oh yeah, that guy's in the way. Well, whatever. Okay, bullet slide, and you slide again. And here's this map. So if you want to play it safe and you don't really care about like being optimal, but like you just want to have like a good, consistent strat, you just do 2 jumps. From here, you're gonna walk a bit, boom, boom. And this guy is a 3-shot met, so you need to hold the charge after you kill this met here. So boom, and then you just charge, and then you don't want to slide on all of these because otherwise you won't have enough time to charge the thing. So you need to like hold on like 1 or 2 slides out of these ledges. Like that. And then you have the same thing here. So here I highly recommend you to slide. It might be hard, but unless you really struggle with this specific jump, like I feel like slide jump is way better for that one. Yeah, you can also get into 1 jump, but we're gonna talk about that later. So jump, boom, boom, can make it, and then another 2 jump, and then you go. So that's the comfy way to clear this room. You do 2 jumps per big met, and you have no issues. So obviously the more optimal way is to try to do them in 1 jump. But it's pretty tight. You have to shoot really low, and the window for it is pretty tight. The setup that I have, as I slide, I kind of like walk a bit. Like I don't, not by a lot. Like I would say, like about here. Like I go here, I'm like boom, something like that. Like if I do it in real time, like walk, boom, there you go. I released A, but that would have made it. That's how I do it personally. But this is really tight. Like, you're gonna struggle a lot with this. Like, and if you mess it up, you just jump again, and yeah, you just go. Doesn't matter. That's probably what's gonna happen to you the most if you do this strat. It's like getting hit like this is very common, and it's very hard to explain sometimes what went wrong, but a lot of the times it's because you shot too late. At least from my mistakes that I do personally, I feel like it's a lot of the time because I'm shooting too late. And you can do the same thing on that one. And that's about it. This room is really tight. A very hard movement room. There's another strat where we're not gonna show it here because it's pretty dumb again, but it's like you can save extra frames by getting a charge out of the first met instead of the second, so you don't have to skip any slides. But we're talking frames, and it's like really, really high tier strat. Like I think only 2 people are doing it. Like it's 2 or 3 people. Like it's really not a strat that's worth. So yeah. At this point, it's the checkpoint. GG, you got it. Pretty easy, right? This is where stuff might go south, though. It's not because it's hard, but because it's just scary. Because we're entering water, and if you remember, water equals you cannot jump out of your slide. So you have to be careful of that. So this is more mets, so underwater mets. So yeah, you want to make sure to kill these guys. Don't be scared of like these spikes because like you shouldn't die to them. Like if you like. You should just like practice this room like maybe 3 or 4 times or whatever. Like once you play like a couple of times, you'll see that it's not that scary per se. Like you have like the window is pretty large. Like it's really not that awful. I wouldn't say it's easy, but it's like it's I don't know. It's not as hard as it looks. You want to be careful of this met, especially though, because if you're jumping a bit too high, let's say you do something like this, if you get a drop because you took damage, it's very likely you missed your input and fell off on these spikes. That is something that's very possible because it happened to me. That's one of the rare death drops that the game can give you. So be careful of that, and considering the room we've seen before, it's really likely you're not full health coming to this room. So yeah. So when you kill this man, be careful to kill him somewhat early. Well, I'm really messing up right now, but like something like this that gives you enough time to like react. Also, that was a very terrifying jump. Normally, you just do this and it makes it. But yeah. Also, don't use Rush Marine here. Because Rush Marine actually doesn't fit here. And I'm gonna show it right now. If you use it, like let's say for this part, you can. Like, oh, this jump scary, die. And then you go here and you're like, but how do I go down? You can, but it's like kind of RNG. You have to be like pixel perfect. So, because yes, this game also has sub-pixels, by the way. I don't know if you know about this, but like sometimes, kind of like Mega Man 3. If you play Mega Man 3, it's the same concept. Like sometimes you can't extend your slide by 1 pixel. And it's the same concept here, I believe. I don't know exactly if it's... But anyway, don't use Rush Marine here. This is dumb. That's my point. Just make sure... Like, this jump is really not as scary as it looks. If worst case scenario, what you could do is you could use this met to deboost if it really is scary. Like, you just do something like this and... whatever. That's still gonna be better than just menuing to Rush Marine. Like, 100%. If you feel comfy, but not for this specific jump, you can probably jump over the map. Well, I killed it, but like, you got the idea. Well, I don't even think you can actually, but maybe if you walk. But like something like that. You just wait that he shoots you. There's just ways that works. But also kind of like removes the death drop thing that you can have. But honestly, it's really not as hard as it looks. Like with a little bit of like practice, this room is not a big issue. So this met, you need to be... You gotta like walk a bit and then shoot. Because this, if you do it differently, depending on the pattern you might have, you might miss the guy. So do exactly as soon as like Mega Man is here, you shoot, because he can shoot to like he can jump towards you or like just upwards, like he did on that one. So something you need to be careful about. But the most important thing is not here, but here. So at this point, you just... I wanted to go back up to make a save state. But... die. So at this point, you just do a slide, and as soon as you leave the ledge, you just release right. It doesn't really matter where you start the slide because the game is going to stop you before you reach the spikes anyway, so no big deal, you don't have to walk that. I would say it's even, maybe even scarier to walk because, I mean not really, but I don't know, just slide, it doesn't really, it's not going to do you anything. Just do a quick slide, you just release, but yeah, slide, 2 slides, and then you're going to have this net in the way. So 2 things you can do, I mean 3 actually. Jump into it, and you go. You may need to rush jet, and you grab the ladder. That's like the easiest, safest way, but you do take damage, so that could be a problem if you have like health issues at this point. Shouldn't be, but yeah. Another thing you could do is you could advance and kill it, then do a small hop, then another jump here, and then the same thing. Then you to rush jet and blah blah blah, grab the ladder, and you go on the next screen. So it would look like this. Something like that. You can optimize that a little bit, that was pretty slop. You need like a very small jump just to get past the 2 spikes. Something like that does work. You can play it safe by kind of like walking there and just jumping. Whatever feels comfortable for you, just do that. It doesn't really matter, honestly. The optimal way to do this is you kind of just A plus B and land right away here so you can slide immediately. That saves like a couple of frames. It's not that easy, but it's not that difficult. It's kind of like a muscle memory thing. Once you got it down, it's very likely you're gonna almost never fail it anymore, but yeah, it's like, it doesn't really matter, honestly. You save like maybe 5 frames doing that over like an optimal small jump like this. Like, I don't know. It's like, it doesn't really matter. So, yeah. Let's go. Rush jet. We're gonna try to summon it as soon as possible, like about here. Because, yeah, this is Yoku blocks, and we don't want that. That's dumb. So you just jump on it, hold diagonal, and you just grab the ladder. Very comfy. Well, I need to jump though, because yeah, that can happen. But yeah, that's like the easiest. You can optimize this by jumping on rush, because when you jump on rush, you move forward on rush. So with like a couple of jumps, you can make sure to grab the ladder a bit quicker. But if you're too low, note that you cannot go upwards when you're jumping, or like in the air rather. And here it's kind of low, so I would say like do 3 jumps or 2 depending on how low this is, and then you just hold diagonal. Very easy. I did 3 here because I feel like I could, but yeah, you can get like 2x in this room, like 3 2x. There's other ways to do this. You can also do this, like you let go, slide, and do something like this. Well, I played that horribly on purpose, trying to be bad, but it was too bad. Something like that. It's really not much easier. It's actually harder, and it doesn't really save much time. So do that. It's easy, no problem. Comfy. Yeah. This room is a bit more complicated, as you can see, because here there's no floor. There's only spikes. So here you want to make sure to summon rush as soon as possible. Like way before you're on top of the ladder. Don't be scared of that spike. Like as long as you're on the ladder, you won't die to it. Like see, I'm holding right here. Like I'm not touching that spike. So don't be scared of that. So you can just hold diagonal right, and summon rush. So ideally, what you want to do is do a jump like this and land there. That's like the most optimal way to do this room. If you're a beginner, that's probably not very ideal for you, and I can understand that. So you can just hold left. Holding left slows down rush. Like as soon as he spawns, just do that and do that. The problem is like you need to land on the right side of rush, because if you're on the left side, I'm gonna do it again. See, like I'm never gonna make that jump. So, oops, I was not on top of the ladder. Like this, like that's perfect right here. You're gonna have all the time to get the jump. So, give yourself the window that you need to make that work. And you don't have to hold left all the way. You can just do it in specific spots. Like you can do this and up. There you go. But yeah, the most optimal, you do this and slide twice. As soon as you pass that section, from here, you slide twice. And you wanna walk a bit because the slide is gonna stop you here anyway. Like at this point, see, you cannot slide in. You cannot grab the ladder, so you have to walk a bit regardless. So 1, 2, walk, and then you do a very small jump and you press up. Like this. So you get a, because if you jump too high, you're gonna have to wait. It's not like Mega Man 2 where you can grab ladder off screen. Here it doesn't work. You need to be on screen to grab it. This is why it's important to just do a small hop. Just minor details. Be aware of it. Alright, this room sucks a little bit, but it's not too bad. Like, the safe strats are not that complicated. You just jump over the mats. Well, not that bad, though. You can jump without taking damage. So, bam, 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 bam. Blah, 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 blah. Boom, boom, bam, bam. There you go. You can jump over the mats. Easy, no problem, no need to mash. But killing them is faster. So how do you kill them? Well, that's why we stay on Rush Jet. So at this point, you bullet slide and 3 shots. The way you want to 3 shots is gonna depend on how fast you can mash. So like you can do a walk instead of a slide, like this. Bullet slide, walk, and mash. That was really slow, but like, if you do it like on a better movement, like that should be faster. I'm gonna try to be slow on purpose just to see, but like that first one is probably. I would say I would argue to skip the first one and only kill the second, because the second is kind of easy to kill, but the first might be hard. It really depends, like, ideally that's how you want to kill it. Like, I'm not getting my B inputs though. It's like, bullet slide here, 3 shots. I can't get 3 shots for whatever reason. There you go. Bam, 3 shot. I got 2, but yeah, I mean, that's the point. That's the plan, like, you get 3 shots quickly and you slide, like. So, yeah. Like, something like that. Like, it doesn't really matter what you do there. If you want to go for speed, the ideal is, like, you want to just try to be fast, like this. It's a bit of like mashing and timing. It's more like timing rather than mashing and movement, because like the worse you slide, the less time you have to mash, because you took more time to reach the net. So by sliding better, you have more time to mash. So it's like you get rewarded essentially if you have a good movement. Okay, well, that's about it for Wily 1. At least for the stage. We're gonna see the boss now. So as soon as you enter the corridor, you menu to ring, and here we're gonna start with a safety strat right away. So you can jump into doors and you can buffer an input if you're in the air, or keep an input rather. So like essentially what you want to do here is you want to jump about here and keep holding right and up. That way you land here, so you can essentially mash B, and you're always gonna get that first shot every time, no problem. This moves like 40-ish frames because you delay the cutscene a little bit. But that first hit is so huge that on a lot of the cases that can save you from a 4-cycle med daddy is something we want to avoid. So I'm gonna start from there. So like the fast way to set up this is usually 3 slides, like I mean 2 slides and then jump slide, like something like this. This is actually kind of like this. There you go. So again, you just mash B, get the first shot, and here there's 2 patterns that can happen. After the second shot, he can jump towards you, or he can stay. If he stays, that means you have a 3rd shot, and then he's gonna jump. If it's the bad pattern, that's usually that's a long pattern, so that means it's gonna be a 6 hit. Like if you respect that, it's guaranteed to be a 6 hit. So you get the first shot, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you just turn and you wait that the small med comes towards you to back deboost through the big med to go on the other side so you don't get stuck. Let's do that again. That's for the good pattern. It's an easy 6. So you mash B for the first hit, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, turn around, and you go on the other side. 2 slides. It's worth mentioning that I didn't move here after the second hit. Usually what you do is you kind of like prepare. Like, no, it's good pattern, so boom, 4, I mean it was 6 actually, I just can't count. But like, after the second hit, you kind of turn back to the left in case he jumps immediately. In that case, he doesn't on that save state, but you'll see what I mean when we go to the other pattern. So 3, 4, 5, 6. So the 6 hit is really easy to get. The 5, however, is a lot harder. So another variance that Med Daddy has too is the time he stands in the ground. That's RNG. I forgot the exact times, but he can stay sometimes a short amount of time or like a bit longer in the ground. So sometimes even by executing the fight perfectly, you will still like lose like 3 seconds or something, just because he decided to just stay in the ground more. Alright, so let's try to do a complete fight. So you see that cycle we did at the start with the hits, and a thing to mention is you never want to stay close to Med Daddy ever, because if you stay too close, he's gonna do like a small hop, and that makes the shot a lot harder to get because he's gonna stay less time on screen. So you want him to jump high every time, except on the last cycle if you nail the 2 first. So at this point here, you don't have to move. So 1, 2, up, good pattern, 4, 5, 6. So again, you kind of go, take a distance, 2, that's the bad pattern. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I missed it. The 5 hit is incredibly difficult. So if you get the short pattern, do not go for a 5. Unless you're really aware of what you're doing, don't go for it. You're just gonna waste ammo. Go for 4 hits. 1, 2, bad pattern, 3, 4, and you just wait. You don't have to take that damage. I just do it because it's more consistent for me when I do the 5 hit. But you don't have to. So that's 4. Boom. 1, 2, that's the bad. 3, 4, and he's dead. So the problem with that method is like if you get exclusively 4 hits, you're guaranteed to get a 4 cycle. So that's why it's a bit of RNG that you're adding to yourself when that happens. You need to get a 6 hit. As I said, the 6 hit is really not that hard. The 5 though, when you get the short jump, like on the second, after the second shot, is difficult. Like it's really hard. The window for it is incredibly tight. So yeah. I really don't know what to recommend for that, but if you can just nail the first cycle already, like you want to really avoid bonking there. That's like really bad. You really want to just do that to get a complete jump. So again, it's a good pattern. You get the 6. So after you get a 6 hit, you're guaranteed to get a 4 cycle. So that was another good pattern. Only went for a 5 here. So as soon as you get like a good pattern, like a 6 hit, it doesn't really matter what you're doing as long as you get the shots in. You can probably make him jump low so it's faster. But I'd argue it's probably worse because if you get if you have a hard time recognizing the patterns, I'd advise you to just like always take a distance anyway, especially if you're low health. So 6 hit. That's a good pattern, so it should be 6. Also one thing that can happen, do not stay on the ground when Med Daddy lands. You need to jump, so you need to delay your jump with Med Daddy. Do not land at the same time as him, because yeah, that can happen. You can get stuck, frozen on the floor, and that loses you a lot of time. You can lose a cycle to this mistake. Fun fact, I did that in my PB, so yeah, you gotta be careful with that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I knew it was good pattern, so I didn't move, but normally you kinda wanna move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Take damage, and then you just wait there. It's 2 hits. 1, 2. There you go. So if you're struggling with the slide though, one thing you should learn is how to dodge him every time. So you just do that. Wait, bam. Take a distance. Bam. Like see, like you should never take a hit from him directly. Like if you're struggling health-wise with this fight, learn just how to do that already, and it's already gonna be a lot better. You're never gonna die to it almost anymore. Alright. We'll consider that done. That was Wily 1. Pretty difficult stage to optimize. Not maybe a stage you will have a lot of trouble nailing, like not dying, but yeah. It's gonna be mostly the pattern for this game. It's like, a lot of the stages are not necessarily that difficult. They're just like hard to not die on sometimes. Oh, I mean, hard to optimize, rather. Sorry. It's getting a little late, I'm sorry. Alright, Wily 2. Wily 2, pretty... it's basically rush jet this stage. You're gonna use a lot of rush jet, so if you have like no rush jet, you're in trouble. But usually you don't really need a lot of rush jet. Like if you have like, I think 8 ticks or whatever, it's still fine. Like, you're only gonna use them as a platform to get through ladders faster, so... Not a massive deal. So first you jump here and you jump here. You can slide on this if you desire, but you just want to avoid doing that because you want to slide here. So you land here. That's the plan. So bam, slide, go, or you do bam, bam, go. Doesn't really matter. Slide, and you land on top of this ladder. This slide can be scary, so if you're scared, just do a full jump. Because it's real easy to just do that and die. Like you see, the hitbox is pretty dumb. Like I'm not touching it there, but yep. So yeah, I need to jump. Just do a jump if you feel uncomfortable, and then you just hold diagonal. And you fell off. Do not like climb the ladder down. That's useless. Like I see people do that. That is useless. Just like tap A once and stop holding anything, and you're never gonna die to this ladder. Like, bam. Then you don't wanna hold the left immediately, otherwise you're gonna die. So you wanna just delay a little bit your left press, like this, and then you slide off that block. And you're gonna land like around here. You need to hold right on that screen a little bit. Bam, bam. You can do this, I guess. It doesn't really matter, but if you want to be optimal, like this, just like delay a bit of the left press, but you kind of still want to press it while in the air, so you stand less time on that block. But if you feel scared, you just land on the block, then you do a full jump, and then you slide off that block. The risk of this is like if you really want to avoid doing that, like you want to kind of stop holding any directions as soon as you land on that. So you can do this if you're really like uncomfortable sliding off that block. But yeah, I would not recommend you do that because kind of you're not getting used to the movement of the game by doing that. So, but if you're really scared, that's a possibility. So then, as you enter the screen, you land on that block. Here you need to hug this wall, but not too early. Like the goal is to try to, as soon as you like land on that block, you slide, release, and as the transition starts, you start pressing right again. So if you do it really good, it should look like this or something. Because yeah, you're gonna like brush this wall a little bit. That's the plan. If you do this, it's not that big of a deal either. Honestly, you can probably just do that and that probably works too, honestly. It's just be careful of the spike though. Like that's the thing. Choose whatever you feel more comfortable with. Honestly, it's just any of the things I'm saying, it's just like frames, so it's like whatever. If it avoids you from a death, do it. Like it doesn't matter. All right, this screen is pretty fun. You're gonna have the aim worms. These guys are back. There's gonna be two of them, like one here and one here. You can kill them with a charge, which I don't like. Like you can hold a charge going to that screen and kill this guy. I tend to prefer doing this. Like I just like A plus B into a bullet slide. A plus B bullet slide, A plus B bullet slide. You could also do two hits like this, like whatever. Like find the comfy way for you to kill these mets. These M worms. My way, as I said, to do it is to A plus B like this. It's not really an A plus B, it's more like an AB again. Because A plus B, well, A plus B does work, so it's gonna be here. But yeah, A plus B does work. It's just A plus B slide, bullet slide rather. Whatever. So, easy way number one to pass this section. You're gonna have a hedgehog waiting for you to get hit here. So you can just take the damage, switch to rush jet, and like you wanna land like about on this platform. So ideally, you menu mid-air, switch to rush jet, and as you're about to exit the menu, you hold left. That way you can just summon rush there, well, without taking a damage. But then you can reach this ladder without any issues. So let me do that again, but better. Go there, hold left, slide off, and then you summon rush. And easy ride. That's a comfy way. You can even summon it earlier. Oops. You can summon that earlier by after you took damage here. You just do it here. It's a bit slower though, but that's also a possibility. And the faster way, you menu the same way. Take deboost off this guy. And then you just jump and land here after that guy. And that's where you're gonna summon Rush. That's the fastest way. That's a very clean pause. There we go. And that's the fastest way to clear this room. At least the fastest strat. You can do other ways. Like, you can actually avoid the hit from the hedgehog altogether. Like, if you wait here, then move, you can actually avoid the hit. Like, that's also a thing. So, it doesn't really save time because you have to wait. So it doesn't matter, but that's one thing you can do. So yeah. Also, the comeback of Eddie, I mean, he's usually gonna give you some bullshit, so kind of ignore him. But if you really need it, I guess he can maybe give you an E-tank. So don't go left, that's a trap. Have a good old hedgehog waiting you to destroy you, and yeah. But that's also a way to farm RNG. Like, technically you can farm RNG until you get E-tank. That was an E-tank actually there, but like, if you don't get an E-tank, you can just reload this screen from here, roll back down. It's just really dumb. But like, if you're in absolute need of resources for whatever reason, that's the thing you can do. It's really slow, but that's just good trivia, I guess. This screen is really straightforward. Just go up there and grab this ladder. This screen's pretty hard. I don't know how to explain this save, so I guess you just do 2 jumps like the classic. So you summon Rush on the left side. Ideally, you want to make him spawn. So the way you can do this is by putting him on top right there. And that should allow you to kill this Met on the way down. This Inworm on the way down. Like this. If you don't kill him, it's okay. Like, you're still gonna have some time to kill him here. So it's not a big deal. Like this. So, yep, not a big deal. If you want to be fast, you gotta do this in 1 jump, like boom boom. Just like this. It's not the fastest, I mean the cleanest, but that's the strat. And that's about it. Like, there's not a lot in this room, but it's pretty... Like, if you want to be optimal, it's actually not easy, so yeah. That was pretty much the first half of Wily 2, because we're already at the checkpoint. Checkpoint room is actually one of the few mashing rooms in the game, and I don't like it for that reason. I didn't say completed. Oops. Alright, so as soon as you spawn here, you're gonna summon Rush. That way you can get 3 shots very quickly. There's other ways you can kill. These guys take 6 hits, so it's gonna be up to your mashing speed what you want to do. If you have a pretty slow mashing speed, I would recommend you to not slide and just do that or something. I don't know, like something easy, something like that. Like, do not slide essentially. Like, if you have a slow mash, don't do this. Same thing for this guy. Like, just do that, blah blah blah, and same for that one. Blah 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 blah. Try to make sure Rush is not summoned from that point, because you want to do it here. Like, you want to do something like this, so you can avoid climbing this ladder. The optimal way to do this, you want to do something like this, and that's about it. You don't even have to do this. Like, you can just, you mess it up, whatever, climb the ladder, doesn't matter. But just an extra time save you can get if you do it. If you have balloons, that's, for whatever reason, if you have some balloons remaining, I guess if you're struggling, that could be a spot to use it. Like, you can just do this, and then in the next room you could do something like this or whatever. I don't know, or like I don't know. It's just something you could do. You could just go back here, place the balloon, and blah blah blah. I don't know. I wouldn't recommend to do this because it's like a pretty, I don't know, it's like very weird routing. There's way better places for balloons, and the strat I'm gonna show you is actually very easy. So, do not do this. This is really hard, and it gives like a very tiny window to jump on Rush Jet. What you wanna do is you wanna summon Rush to the left. Like as soon as you spawn into the room, you summon him to the left, but you face right. So essentially, you're gonna do this. That way, Rush faces right. Well, there's the I'm actually gonna like kill the spot so I can show you the thing. So like, as soon as you're here, you do this. That way, you see, you have all that time to jump. Versus, like, if you do this, you have like no time to get up there. So that's why it's way better to just like do this. And you have like a million frames to do this, and it's like way easier that way. It's just not an issue at all. So I'm gonna do that again. Boom, 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 boom. There you go. Not even a problem. You can optimize this a little bit by jumping. Like essentially you just like hug this thing and then you just turn around as Jet spawns. Like this. And then you just jump. Well, turn around, idiot. Like this. Saves like a bit of frames, just looks cool, but it's harder. So just do that if you feel uncomfortable, easy. This room, make sure to not do a late rush jet spawn like this, because then it means trouble. So what I do, usually I press B, A plus B. More like an AB actually, rather than A plus B. You can also summon it to the right. Like, right spawn, boom, kill the guy, then you can slide. Well, it took forever to slide, but that's the plan. Not that way though. Yeah, there you go. Usually what I do is I just press B here and I plus B, but like that's the issue. You need to be pretty early. Not too early, because otherwise you're not gonna have enough time. Just like this. Alright, this room. This room is pretty hard because you have this gap and you need to kill this guy very quickly. And it's really easy to fall off here. So, ideally what you do is you kind of like walk on the ladder. You don't jump off the ladder. If you jump off the ladder, you're gonna fall off. So you need to walk on it, then jump. So ideally, you just walk a bit, and it's what you use to press B to get rush to get someone, whatever way. And you can lap this faster, but it requires you to set it up after. So yeah. Ideally what I do is I just do this. That's what I do. That way it makes this kill really easy, because it's just like one bullet slide as you are up there, and then just double tap B, and he kills the guy. And yeah, then you just grab the ladder. You can skip like half of it by doing that. You can also quarter jump. You can do that. That's actually a bit faster. But if you do this, you want to do this. Then you just despawn. But yeah. Doesn't save a lot of time, but funny strat. This room is another mashing room. So as soon as you kill that tank, you switch to Toad. And you just walk on these blocks. And you jump into that guy. If he fires a bullet here, like a right bullet, you need to jump. If he fires a red bullet, you're safe. You can slide all the way there. Toad. Walk on these blocks. Slide. Another white bullet. So I need to jump. You don't have to. Like this, if you are really good with your movement, you can actually avoid that. But it's very likely you won't be able to do that right now if you're starting the game. So don't really bother. Just jump so you avoid taking damage for no reason. So that's the bad pattern. Because, oh, I didn't kill them. Oops. That's the bad pattern because you have, like, the white bullet and you can't do the struts, and you have to do an extra jump here. If you get the red bullet, you can do a funny little zip. That can make the section a bit easier. So essentially, you place rush about, like, this block. That's my cue, like, the second block. That's where I put B. It's here. And then I just go. You don't even have to jump out of this ladder. Just like walk and just land on the rush. Yeah, I'm trying to get the other pattern because it's a pretty cool strat to look at. Nope, still not the right pattern. Getting pretty unlucky here. Well, maybe that's gonna make this strat work. Okay, there you go. So if you get that bullet, you're gonna walk on that block. Like, if you summon rush correctly, you're gonna fall off rush. But you're gonna fall off on this block. And then you just turn around and take damage. That's gonna give you a little boost, like kind of a zip. And if you did it correctly, you can switch to Toad and you can slide over that guy. So, ideally you wanna dodge that bullet in a safer way. I just did the swag way, but like if he fires a bullet, like a white bullet, you just wait on the block, like this one or this one, I don't know. Essentially, just jump over the bullet, kind of like the others. But yeah, that only is possible if you get a good pattern. So if he does this, you just walk there and whatever. It looks scary, but it's really not. But yeah, but if you don't care about this anyway, like you just do that and it's gonna be the same. It's just that the red bullet is actually harder to match because you need to dodge the bullet. Do that strat. So yeah. Obviously you can slide on these blocks. But wouldn't recommend it unless you're really good at sliding in the game. It barely saves time, but it does make a little bit of sense if you're doing this strat, because then you can despawn this guy faster. But yeah, whatever. Do whatever. I would say just do the mash. The thing you want to do though is you don't want to use rush jet all the way to the end, because that's like a significant time loss. Like you remove a lot of sliding and you may not even have enough rush jet if you use already a lot. Okay, so here, very important. You use Toad because we want to use a glitch that skips the health refill of the boss, so that saves like 4 seconds. So essentially, you're going to do the same thing we did in Wily 1. So you slide all the way to the door, and as you're about to reach it, you just jump. And then as you enter the boss, you fire a Toad, which basically stops the health refill. And then we're gonna just essentially destroy the hitbox with drill. There's multiple ways you can get to the hitbox. I'd like to just go in the corner here. It's not really hard to do. But if you feel uncomfortable, you can go on the platform as well. That also works. It's just gonna be slow. You can just do that. So you want to aim the green thing. Very important. Do not just aim like here or whatever. That's not gonna work otherwise. You want to aim this guy. So if you did it correctly, you can just A inside his hitbox, and it's like, oh, he doesn't have a hitbox anymore. And then you can just essentially kill him like it's nothing. That's the baby strat. But it's a good baby strat, because it's consistent and fast. So if you want to do it fast, essentially you go right away on this tile, and you just slide all the way there. Oh, this one. Too fast. Too fast. And the fastest strat is essentially you just don't switch and use ring. But that's a bit harder. It requires a little practice and reaction because, like, if you get the fire pattern, that's good, but you can throw balls. Like, that's a really good pattern. Holy crap. Okay. But usually he's not as kind, and he's gonna give you a lot of balls. I'm gonna try to get a more common pattern than this, because that's actually ridiculous luck here. Also, this is not a checkpoint, by the way. It's just a practice run. There's no checkpoint on the bosses in Wilys and Cossack. That's more like it. You need to like dodge, and yeah, it's like it's pretty tight. Save a bit of time, but yeah. If you don't feel comfortable with that strat, don't do it. Just do the despawn strat. Just as a matter of fact, as of the time I'm running this tutorial, Becco, which is second place at the moment, still does the strat. So it's a very viable strat to use even for like top tier runs. So if you desire, keep doing it, essentially. Alright, refights. Alright, so I'm gonna actually pick up a safety that I already have. I think it's this one, or where is it? There you go. So your ammo should look something for ring and dust, something like this, roughly. If you did the route I showed you, that's what it should be. Maybe you have a bit more dust and less ring. So depending on what you choose, the safety way is to just refill both rings here anyway. So that's the safety way. There's also an E-tag if you need. And then at this point, assuming you don't have to pick the second one, by the way. I'm just like, you can just menu here and pick up ring. So like the optimal route is like you do this. Well, not optimal, like it's actually an old route now, but the new route is a bit advanced. So I'm just gonna show you the normal route rather. So see, you have some ammo refills here, and that's what you want to use to refill a little bit. So with ring, what you do usually, and what I'm gonna recommend, is to pick 2, and then you switch to dust, and you pick 3. That's like the optimal thing you can do. You can take less, but you may find yourself in a bit of a tough situation, especially if you just start the speedrun. So in that case, what you should do first, at least, and just see if you have like way too much ring or way too much of dust, one of the two. You pick up ring here and here, and then you switch to dust immediately. And you're just gonna pick all the small in there for dust, and you're gonna be fine. And yeah, that's about it. Okay, so then there's gonna be 2 guys in the way, so do not, coming to this room, do not go that way. You need to stop holding left, and then you can go after you kill the guy. So, something like this, and you can kill this guy no problem. And if you go top route, you don't need that health, unless you're really messed up at the start. If you have this amount of health, that's the correct amount. You don't need any more health, because even if you grab it, you're gonna have ways to grab health refills easily on some of these fights. This shouldn't be a big issue. So, yeah. You go there. So 2 slides. You can do whatever here. Like, I do a jump at the end of that, just so I fall faster, but it's really not that big of a time save. Another pesky ladder. And then here's reflex. That was terrible movement, but yeah, you can slide on every of these ledges. So we go right, and then we go up there. That's where we want to go. It's gotta be Pharaoh. So we don't use Buster anymore, we're gonna use Dust. That's why we refilled it. You can actually slide on that block if you desire. Saves like, what, a few frames? Like 7 frames-ish. Alright. So, the beginning of this fight is pretty annoying because he's is gonna be in your way a little bit, so... What you should do if you're not comfortable at first is to go right. Like you do something like this. Well, more like this. And if he jumps again, well, you go back left. You go a little slow, you don't want to go too fast because there's a lot of iframes. So, yeah. Something like that. That was actually a really good fight. You can also just deboost out of this bullet and then go that way. Because he can just jump at you and you can take damage just like I did. So he's still the same Pharaoh, so he's still gonna be just as annoying. He can jump, like it's the same fight. Except that this time, yep, that's what I meant with he's still the same Pharaoh. He can still jump around and hit you. But yeah, otherwise this fight's pretty comfy. You shouldn't be, in only rare scenario you should be on a bad situation, but otherwise, like it's not a big deal. You can, if you want to stay to the left, here's the strat. You can dodge both of these bullets. So what I do usually is I hug this wall and I come back to the middle of the teleporter and hit the second dust shot. Like this. So you have a couple of shots to spare if you did the route. So if he does this, try to go far so he jumps back. Because you'll see that if he's this way, you're gonna have trouble to shoot dust because the particles are gonna take more time to disappear. So make sure that he jumps back to the left when that happens. Okay, that's the first fight down. So at this point, you have 2 ways to go to Skull. You can go top route and do this, or you can go down there. Like you can just pass these 2 teleporters in 1 slide and just go there. So the way you do this is like if you slide too fast, you'll hit the dive. That's something you don't want to do. You want to like slide off this one, and just like walk a little bit, and then you slide. That should be, you should be clearing both in one go. But it's honestly a minor time save. So the way it looks would look like this. Regardless. Alright, so Skull. There's various ways you can do the same strat almost. I don't even know how to do the strat anymore. Yeah, I think you can do something like this, like do 2 shots at the start. Like the fast way for this fight is to end him as the like to fire the last shot as he's on the Mega Man is on the teleporter. That's the plan. Like that's one of the easiest strat to get him close to you on the teleporter, and it's very consistent because it's gonna only react on your input. There's another method where you only hold down and then do a B to A. So he does this. Well, no, an A to B rather, sorry. Like this. So that way you kill him right there, and the only hard part is the start. So, but if you're just starting, this is really easy to do as well. It's really the same fight, almost. So, alright. Next. So, as soon as you exit the fight, you menu to skull. So there's a fast way to get to this menu, and it's to hold down twice, and right and down. That's the fastest way to do this menu, because like you do all that in one go. So yeah, from dust, boom, 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 and then you just slide. This fight's really consistent too, so the same fight except that you want to end it right on the teleporter instead of the center. So you're gonna do a slide, bam, bam, bam. Like, kind of want to try avoiding damage though. Like, that's literally the only shot I know for this fight. So, like, it's a very consistent fight. It's non-RNG. So, yeah. I advise you to probably, like, watch what other runners do for this fight, specifically, if you struggle with the version I'm showing here. Otherwise, yeah, this is probably the fastest way to kill this guy. Because he's always gonna throw a bullet after the 4th, and then it's just the same thing, so... Even if you take damage, it's not a big deal. You can... Ideally, you don't want to, but you can play it safer, too. You could just do this, and that if you need to refill. Like... It doesn't really matter too much, as long as you just have the correct amount. Like, if you don't mess up your skull shield, like, it's good. The reason why I'm saying this is because we need some of these shields for right here. So, how to get the first shield very consistently, you slide and you jump. Easy first hit, no problem. You're never gonna miss it. Do not jump immediately like this, because that's not gonna hit. You still need to slide. Like a very small slide, like this, and full jump. Then you need an odd number of shots. So you need to hit him either 1, 3, or 5 times. If you're just starting, 3 is already fine, but you can try to go for 5. The problem is if you only hit him 4 times, and don't have any skull ammo, you need to switch back to Buster, so he has like -5 HP. So it would look something like this, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As soon as you hit him 5 times, you switch to Toad and you just like dance with him. And as you fire the Toads, try to go back to the capsule as you were dancing with him, so you just end the fight quicker. But yeah, you don't have to hit him 5 times. Like, you can hit him 3 times or 1 time even. Like 1, 2, 3, and then you can switch to Toadman, and you're still gonna be fine. The only issue with doing that is like you're not gonna have the extra toad you normally would have. So here I have it because it doesn't count the Wily 2 ammo I used, but like normally you have 1 extra toad when you do the 5 hit, which allows you to get a free hit on drill. But if you do the 3 shield, you won't have it. Up. So in case you messed up, normally you have 6 shield. So you can mess up 1 on this fight. So yeah. Let's do the 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright. That's pretty bad. You don't have to go aggressive, is what I mean. You can go slow. There we go. And then this time you have the extra rain flush, and you can use it on this fight right at the start. So you wait that the drill takes damage. You jump 5 times. You may need to dive, and it's actually the same fight. Try to hit them on the left side instead of the center. And yeah, that is drill. Nothing to say much about it. As I said, the only downside of like not doing the 5 bright shield is like you're getting yourself in trouble with this fight in a sense that you may get an extra dive. Like, it's not a big deal if you're a beginner, but this can start being an issue if you're like getting to like a good time, like 39 or something like that. Even like 40 range, it can start being annoying because you lose quite a bit of time just with 1 dive. So you know, I don't know. I mean, it's up to you anyway. It's like if you don't get like the 5 shield at all, just go for the 3, and if even go for the 1 if. But 1 is like pretty bad, so just do 3 at least. Okay. So out of this point, you slide off this, you switch to drill, and we're gonna fight Toadman. I'm not even gonna bother with this fight. Really easy fight. Bam, 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 bam. Like, no problem. Whatever. This guy's a pushover. Alright, then you jump there to Pharaoh. And here there's a massive change compared to the regular stages. You cannot charge. So the first shot will always be a shot like this. So if you've learned the fast fight already, I'm gonna show you like the suboptimal fast way. So essentially, you A plus B to get the first shot, and you hold B at the same time to get the charge ready. Walk a bit. And well, that was poorly executed, but that's the plan. Like A plus B. You walk a bit. Bam. Bam. It's not that hard, it's just, it's all in the first half. Like, you need to A plus B that. Walk, bam, bam. If you need the health, there's a way to do this, definitely. You need to slide instead of walking at the end. So, bam, bam, and then you do that. You can't avoid getting hit, but that's what you want to do if you need the health. Like, if you need the health, do that. you slide instead of walking, and then you jump past him, and you fire the last barrel shot. There's like other ways to make that work, but then it's just like really slow. Like, I'd say learn this fight that I just showed you, because it's like really not that hard, and if you already know, you can also use this for the regular ring too. So that could be also useful. If you mess up like I just did here, that also works. Like you can just like shot into him into his hitbox. That's also a thing that can happen if you're not careful. Okay. But yeah, do this fight, it's easy. I mean, it's not easy. I would say it's comfy. Like once you know what you're doing, it's fine. Like do not do something like this though. Like I see people do that a lot, and that gives you like 0 time to get the shot. That's something you need to not do. You really want to do an A plus B at the start, like this. Then you have like all the time in the world to get this guy. Bam. Like, no problem. There's a faster version of this fight, which is a bit more difficult because you need to do a lot of jumping around. So I can just showcase it. So essentially, instead of going left, you're gonna go right. So bam, bam, diagonal shot, and then I messed it up. But when you messed up, you can go back to the regular strat. That's what's good about it. But if you don't mess it up, I keep not getting my slide. This controller, man. There you go. And I didn't get the charge now. I can't get the strat. But yeah, it's like you do that. And it saves about a second. Because then you just have no waiting time. Alright. And that's about it for Ring. I really don't know any other suboptimal strats, so you can probably base yourself on these strats and try to play it suboptimally to find your comfy zone for these fights, but it's really not that much different from the regular stage, so if you already know how to do this fight in the stage, this fight is probably easier because the arena is a bit smaller. Okay, so we switch to Ring and we go to Dust. Dust sucks, just like the stage, but this one is a bit worse because there's 2 ways you can handle this guy. Wow, that's a lot of sucks, Jesus. Like 3 sucks. Dang. Either you go towards him, either you stay to the middle. If you're a beginner, it's probably best to stay to the middle and only make him jump like towards the end, I guess, or like not even at all, I don't know. So anything else in sucking? Dang, all sucks. So the thing is, if you already know how Dustband works, this is not gonna be much different. If you don't, let me just give you a small reminder. So Dust is only jumping, or is like very likely to jump if you're close to him. So if I'm here, he's gonna jump a lot. Like see, well, sucking is like 25% each time, no matter what. That's something you can't avoid. But like, if I'm close to him, he's very likely to jump. Whereas like if I'm staying here, he's gonna shoot me a lot. See, it's like proximity. So you can take that into advantage, because that means if you get sucked, it's pretty much likely he keeps jumping. It's like 62% chance that he jumps. So very likely that he does that. So if I do this, he's not going to. But if I do that, well, unless he decides to suck me again. Like I'm close to him, he's gonna jump. That's the probably only advice I can give you for this fight. There's another way where you can make him jump immediately. Like you essentially do that, fire, and you go again. Fire, and you go back like this. And if he doesn't suck you, it's like a very optimal fight. But that can be a little hard. So I would advise you to just like stay in the middle. That was a very early shot. And if you need the health, take it up. If not, whatever. And here's the end of the refights. You have two ways to go to the capsule. Either you just slide and jump towards that way, either you just like do that. Like, I believe this is faster by frames to do it this way. But honestly, it doesn't really matter. So, alright. So time for Wily Machines Phase 1. So ideally, you don't want to advance immediately like this and start fighting him. You can get a few shots in right away, so you can get two. You can do this and that before actually moving towards him and, you know, doing the beep, 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 that kind of thing. So like, bam, bam. And then it's also worth noting, it's always gonna shoot 3 bullets every time. It's like 1, 2, 3, pause. 1, 2, 3, pause. Like, look at this. Like 1, 2, 3, nothing. 1, 2, 3, nothing. 1, 2, 3, nothing. So it's always gonna do this. So you can take that into account when you're down there below him. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. As soon as he has 1 HP, you switch to drill, and you fire the last hit with drill. What it does is it's gonna skip the entire health refill of the second phase, and also the first drill bomb that you're gonna throw at him is gonna do twice the damage. So that's pretty cool. So this is also a good time to explain how drill bomb works, if you still didn't know. You can detonate the drill bombs. So essentially, like, I can be far and press B to make it explode. And that's what we're going to use there, because if you try to shoot him by yourself like this, that's not gonna work. You need to make them explode. You need to double tap. So except for the first there, like that's the one you don't need to do that. Oops. Trying to get a better safety than this, because it's a pretty bad safety. There you go. You need to double tap B every time. So you can be pretty low, but not that low. Like, it doesn't have to be quite on the hitbox. So here I'm taking a lot of damage. Like, that's something you can do, but you don't have to. Like, you can do safe. Like, it doesn't have to be big ham, so if you have no health, you can dodge the bullets. But the faster way is to just deboost through the shots. That's one there. So yeah, that's pretty much it with Wily Machine. It's not a very difficult fight. It can be scary if you're low health. This is why it's very recommended to have some health going to this fight, just so you can do the deboost strat, because it's just the most consistent way to do the fight. Because like dodging on phase 2 is not that easy. It's not hard, but it's depending on what Wily does, it can be pretty bad. Because Wily has like RNG, not on the shots necessarily, but like on the way he moves. Like he can move towards you a lot, or he can stay in the back a lot, and that's RNG. So he has like 4 different stopping points, and then he goes back to all the way to the left, and then he comes back. But sometimes he can get stuck to the right or to the left, and when he's stuck to the left, you have like almost no time to fire the bombs. So. Okay, well, on to the last stage it is. Doesn't really matter which way you go, by the way. You can go left if you feel like it. I believe it doesn't matter. Actually, I don't even know. I don't think it matters. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Pretty much the same. Maybe left is like... Yeah, maybe left is actually faster by a little bit. I don't know. I'm just learning something new. So this corridor, people have different ways to do this. I don't like the charge strat that people are doing, so we're just gonna like buster this way. So if you don't really care and you just want to get out without taking damage, this is really easy. Like just slide walk essentially. So you're gonna have these im worms in the way, so. You can just do that. And the last is here. Like it's pretty slow, but it's like at least it's like no problem. If you want a setup, there's a bullet slide setup I like to do at the start of this room. So you do 1 full slide, bullet slide, bullet slide. So obviously here it doesn't work because I'm stopping, but if you keep moving, like it works. Like boom, bam, bam. You can kill it that way. You can do a double tap too. Like you can bonk your head to stop the slide and you just double tap. That's also a thing if you know the positioning. But usually you can kill the 2 first with just bullet slide. So bam, 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 bam. I messed up my B input, but like the 2 first can be killed with just bullet slide. It's only after this guy that you have to double tap. And usually it's just gonna be 2 slides each time. That's the fastest way to clear this room. You can also do it with the charges. So after this, basically. So, I can't do the B input right now. Because like when you have a charge, you can just like get like an instant double tap. That's why people like it. I don't, because it's weird, but if you'd rather do this, it gives a free double hit. So it would look something like this, I believe. I'm struggling a little bit. I probably should go back from the beginning so I can get the charge. I'm not used to this strat, but I know some people like it better. Let me do it. I didn't release B. Yeah, essentially it gives like free double hits. I even messed it up at the end there, but like if it helps you to do it fast, that's the way to do it. But I like my bullet slide strat. I don't know if it's my strat, I don't know, I just always did it this way. Wow, I'm getting really tired on mashing stuff right now, or timing. I'm sorry. But yeah, you get the plan. It's just like... like bullet slide, and then it's like 3 double taps. And then you're at the end of this room. I'm talking about this very, like... Because it's really important to not take a lot of damage, because you can take a lot of damage. I'm doing that really. On the capsule plate. Why am I terrible at this? There. Had to redeem myself a little bit. Okay. So. Capsule has a lot of spawns. The thing is, there's a lot of things you need to look about. So first of all, there's you don't want to go to the middle because it's very likely if you're, I mean, it's not really likely, but like the problem by going middle is like you can get a capsule pattern that spawns right into you. So like if you go here, you can actually get a pattern that's like, well, not that one. I'm not sure I'm gonna get it, but like the one below this one, like right in the center, you can have one here. Obviously, I'm getting all the center spawns right now just because the game loves to troll me, but like the plan is like, see, I'm already like at 4 HP right now. So the optimal spot that I like to do, it's kind of, people do like, this is like not like a bulletproof strat. Like everyone has their own ways to deal with capsule. I'd like to do what Prizzy does. Essentially what Prizzy does is he places himself like a bit after the health bar, and as the bullet, like you see the little like the charge of whatever ball thing, as soon as it's about to reach or like to start happening, I slide and then I jump towards the center. So that way I'm trying to cover as much spawns as possible, mostly the ones on the left side. And that way if I'm slightly off to the right, I can also hit the one that is in the middle, and I can get what we call double hits. So let me try to. That's bad. Can't get a double hit of that one. Nope, that's another bad one. That's another terrible one. What is this pattern? That's a double hit. So you see, I slid. I got the hit, and then the stored one is the double hit. So that's the plan. Sort of. Well, you saw the pattern was really not in my favor, so you can see like all the different spawns that were not good that can happen. The one at the bottom are literally impossible to double, in theory. You could get a double off the ones on the right side, but like you need to know in advance that they're gonna be here, which you obviously don't. So this is why you really want to aim for the ones on that side. I'm gonna menu here so we can try to get different patterns, perhaps. I don't like this. That's much better. So every time you deal a hit, you go back to like roughly here. There's a double. Yeah. That's what I try to do. Again, this is another of these fights where you gotta find your comfy zone. Because there's no like good method to do this fight. Like, there's obviously the way of like being on the left side versus middle. That's a debate. Like middle could be very good, but it's like very risky. This is why we tend to stay on the left more. Like some people don't even slide; they just jump. But it's really whatever. Like you can do whatever you want. Either you slide, either you jump. Johnny also has a tutorial covered for this, so you can watch his way as well. So you can have like both ways and see what's the best for you. I know it's not much different, I'm pretty sure. So yeah. And that pretty much concludes it. I hope that was helpful in some kind. I was a little tired towards the end, so I'm sorry about this. I was not expecting it to drag on this long on some of the rooms, so